We call to order this committee session for the outcomes, understandings, and consequences of the pond drainage fiasco of August 13th. Now we have here today, speaking for the accused, Wizard, Wizwalker, Wizfrog.
Frog isn't in my name. That's my species.
Is it true that on August 13th, when several pond critters arrived to find their home drained of all liquid, your first response was to say, and I quote here, "My bad"?
Yeah, I thought it was very bad.
Is it true that ever since, you've demanded funds from bug chatters to replace said pond water?
That's right, Your Honor. I want to save our community.
So you drained the pond of all of the water for these poor innocent bugs, and you decided next would be to siphon funds from them in order to refill the pond with the water that you and your compadres drank.
I prefer to look at it like a community goal and bring the community together. We've all had our homes affected by this. I mean, look at my children behind me. Do they look like they're happy and healthy living in their own home? No.
They look incredibly hydrated. Have you been drinking the pond water?
Are you referring to the bottles of water?
I ask again, have you been drinking the pond water?
I mean, the bottled water is pond water, yes, sir, but I haven't drank anything while you've been watching.
Okay, so you bottled the community's water, and then you oh, shit, I'm out of time. God damn it, you always do this. Shit. Any final statements?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did all of it. What are you gonna do about it? Huh?
No,
You can't ask me more questions now. Ha, gotcha.
No,
gotcha. You're out of time,
bullshit. No! Okay, we're going to talk about Lina Khan today, alright? She is the current head of the FTC. She is amazing, she is beautiful, she's incredible, and she is one of the most hated women in America today. I'm not joking. I don't think any woman has had more hate articles written about her than she has in the last couple years. And it's because she's basically attacking all of the big businesses and all of the interests that own a lot of the big publications like the Washington Post, the New York Times, the fucking New Yorker, Forbes, Fortune. Like, basically everyone who's even slightly oriented towards business in any way hates her and wants her to be fired. And we're at a critical moment now because the Harris campaign has not decided one way or the other whether they're going to fire her. So I thought, before we find out, let's have a look at her history. Let's see how she's been doing, what she's been doing, whether it's been effective, and whether she deserves our undying love and support, which I believe she does. Okay, all right. I love Lina Khan. Let's go. Should we start with the Bernie Sanders interview, because I think that's probably a good
sure. I don't really know anything about her other than she's boring and does maths or something.
I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you more than you could possibly imagine. She's not boring. She's incredible and amazing and beautiful, and I love her. And fuck you. And I hate you. Look, it's Bernie Sanders.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
He looks like a Muppet.
He does. He should be on our show. He's perfect for us. Hello, everyone. I'm Bernie Sanders.
He's so stiff. His body's so stiff.
Well, that's because the top 90% of my skull has been replaced with orthopedic steel implements. Made in the USA by our fantastic steel manufacturing industry.
Who'd have thought he'd have aged better than Biden, huh?
I know! I can't believe it. Well, he hasn't had the stress of having to run the fucking country, I guess.
Yeah, that is true.
I do love Bernie so much. So I need to get Oscar. I need a new Bernie hat so I can do my funny little Bernie impression. Don't insult his speech impediment. His impediment is part of what makes him special.
The presidential stress just comes from like traveling?
It's probably a lack of sleep because you have to keep waking up at 4 a.m. because the brown people do something wacky.
Uh-oh.
You have a Bernie impression?
Interesting show with, in my view, one of the outstanding members of the Biden administration, and that is Lina Khan, who is the chair of the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC.
Look at her! Oh my god, she's so cool.
My suspicion is
she looks like that bad guy from
People
Boys.
know very little about what.
Yeah, that's honestly, half of my infatuation with her can be attributed to her looking similar and acting similarly to that lady. Like, incredibly politically effective boss bitch. Like, she's
it's because she wears a suit. I think that's
it's the suit. It's that she's a brown girl in a suit. That's why you don't see that very often because of racism or something.
And she makes people's heads explode.
She's so pretty. I know. Yeah, and you know what? Lina Khan makes people's heads explode too. She makes entire boardrooms full of Amazon businessmen.
Hey, wait a second. Would you say that about a male FTC guy? I don't think so.
If a male FTC guy was like shredded and ripped and looked hot, I would absolutely say that. Yes, obviously.
Wow.
Obviously.
Does, and certainly what the many accomplishments of Chair Khan have been.
He looks like he looks like a Muppet. Look, he looks like a man is puppeting him. Look at this situation. It looks like a human.
I already said that. Play the video.
I know.
Play
No,
the
I
video.
know, but
Play
no,
the
but the
video.
suit. Look at the suit.
Sit down,
The
sit
suit.
down, sit down, sit down.
No.
Sit down. Play the video.
Why are you like this?
You don't get to be like this. Sit down.
I'm high energy today. You know that.
I know. No super pausing. Press play.
No.
I already said that joke. You paused the video to copy my joke.
Yeah, but I was endorsing the thing you said earlier. I was like, oh, I get it.
It was a
now.
joke.
It wasn't a joke. Okay, whatever.
Over. But before we do that, I want to say a few words about the overall economic climate, which makes Lina's work so important. In my view, we have an unprecedented level of income and wealth inequality in America, where 3 people on top own more wealth than the bottom half of American society. That's a real problem.
Uh-oh.
But in addition to that, and what is not talked about very often, is the extraordinary concentration of ownership, which we are seeing in sector after sector after sector.
Sector
Whether it's
after sector
transportation, whether
after
it's
sector.
agriculture, whether it's media, whether it's big tech, whatever it may be. And so today we'll be discussing what that concentration of ownership means to you in terms of the kind of bills and costs that you experience, what it means to you as a worker. So those are some of the issues we're going to get into. But let me begin by
put
asking.
the cool person on.
Wiz, you're a worker.
Pop, 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 pop.
How do you feel about work?
I'm not American.
Oh yeah,
You're
you're European. You don't have to do any work.
Chair Khan. So how does one become
It's her.
the chair of the FTC? Who do you
She was
have
there
to
the
do
whole
that?
time.
Well,
Oh,
first of all,
God.
let me just say it's so great to be here with you. You've just been such a fearless champion for working families in America, and
She's simping for
especially at a
Bernie.
time where too many people feel that they can't get a fair shake. Showing people that the government is fighting for them is just absolutely critical. So the Federal Trade Commission was created over a century ago. This was in the first Gilded Age, where you had the robber barons like the Steel Trust, the Meat Trust, that had accumulated an enormous amount of power. And these businesses were using that power to squeeze Americans, to harm Americans, hiking prices,
Squeezing them.
cutting wages, squeezing small businesses.
Wah!
And so Congress created the
Squeeze.
FTC to make sure that
Yeah.
there would be a government agency that could fight back against that corporate abuse and protect Americans from monopolization, from tricks in the marketplace, and from business tactics that are unfairly allowing firms to get ahead at the expense of the public. And so we enforce the nation's
Wow.
antitrust laws.
So she is
and
like a
nation's
maths
consumer
person.
protection laws.
She hates maths. The numbers seem to make her angry a lot. So I think she's actually anti-maths. A lot of businesses are pro-maths now. I think that she's anti-maths, which is good because I hate maths. It's so
Yeah.
for a woman of
You're
normal.
pro maths?
I disavow maths. Weights versus obese. How have you freaks ended up on fat phobia discourse? That makes no sense. Can you all eat a donut and shut the fuck up? Holy fuck, what's wrong with them? Patriarchal beauty standards? Angry knees, I see you! I see you! Fucking insane. What's wrong with this chat today?
What does that mean? You enforce we all heard the expression antitrust, right? Some of us remember back in the 4th grade, the Sherman antitrust, the Clayton antitrust. So what does all that mean in English?
So the essence of it
What
is
does it
that
mean? Oh,
Congress
no. Why's
decided
that
that
happened?
competition is better than monopolies.
Yeah.
The idea being that if you have choice, if you can choose among companies, be it as a customer, be it as a worker, then those companies have to compete to get your business. And that competition between them incentivizes them to lower their prices, to
So can I've actually not done a massive amount because I wanted to save a lot of it for this stream, but I have a kind of vibe from Lina Khan, and one of the reasons I like her so much is that I feel like she's one of these people that translates socialism into capitalism, and kind of, she's like a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing. She like will say all of the right things from like a capitalist perspective, but actually she's advocating for like strong market control, breaking up big business. Like she's advocating for a very, very socially democratic. I think it's not a surprise that she's with Bernie Sanders, the socialist, who also does something similar. I think she's very, very good at this. Chad's becoming ungovernable. Yeah, you need to stop. So I think she's gonna like She's going to avoid saying socialist things that most people would appreciate from like a virtue signal perspective. But I think that the actual stuff that she advocates for is just straightforwardly the best thing you could do if you were a socialist in charge of the FTC, like objectively.
Raise wages and to generally make products better. In contrast, if you allow companies to merge and eliminate that competition, they know that you're stuck and they can get away with mistreating you. They can raise the prices, they can cut your wages, they can squeeze businesses out of the marketplace, and they know that people can't vote with their feet because there aren't in the marketplace.
Full endorsement.
My impression, and I think the impression of many Americans, is there has not been on the part of either Democratic or Republican
I
administration.
don't believe he's read any of those
very
books.
recently. Thank you.
Yeah, those books are crazy. They're so old.
I think he's President Sunday maxing.
You think so? I think so too. I don't think Bernie Sanders needs to read. I think he just spontaneously acquires knowledge by absorbing it through his skin, which explains why he's so wrinkly, because that's more surface area to absorb knowledge.
You saying he's a lizard man?
I think he might be a lizard person. That would explain why he's so coherent at
Whoa.
age 430. Can you increase the video volume? No. Increase the stream volume. Or die.
There hasn't been a whole lot of activity, antitrust activity. Is that a fair statement?
There's no doubt that during the Reagan administration, there was
Oh,
a
yeah.
very clear set of policy decisions made that it would be better for government to roll back, to take a very hands-off approach, to allow waves of mergers and acquisitions, to allow markets to consolidate. And 40 years on, we're living with the consequences of that. I
Yeah.
mean, as you noted, market after market in the United States has consolidated. So where 30 years ago you had dozens of companies, now you just have a handful or even one. That's true in areas like airlines.
And this is the thing that's fucked up, is that the last 50 years, basically all of the antitrust legislation was thrown out the window. So you've now got Republicans and people attacking Lina Khan. I think this is one of the major areas of attack, is that they're saying, well, she's thrown all of the FTC stuff out the window. She's thrown all of these rulings out of the window. She's an authoritarian freak. But it's because the last 50 years have established a pro-monopoly stance from the FTC, and she's finally bringing it back to its actual roots. And so they're like, well, she's breaking all the rules, but those rules were all set from Reagan onwards. And then no one was bold enough to ever fuck with them until Biden. Even Obama was basically pro-monopoly. Now Biden's administration put this sick-ass radical in charge of the FTC, and we're finally seeing some fucking changes. So cool.
Let's fucking
so
go.
Cool. So cool.
Like telecom, across food and agriculture, but even in areas like laundry detergent. If you go to the grocery store, you might see 25 kinds of brands, but in reality, they're just owned by 2 companies.
Yeah.
If you have cable television, and you might have hundreds of channels and think you're hearing 100 different points of view, in fact, end up being owned by just a handful of very large media.
That's a really good point, actually.
Et cetera, et cetera.
That's right, an enormous amount of consolidation of power and ownership.
Okay.
The fake variety thing is crazy. Like, I know that I used to really try and avoid buying from stuff like Nestle or Unilever, who did like a lot of animal cruelty shit as a vegan.
Yep.
And it's impossible. Like, it's actually impossible. You go three degrees of separation, and practically every food item you buy from anywhere is owned by one of these mega corporations. It's like, it's actually pointless.
It's the upfront cost of starting a business like that, right? It's like, it's
Yeah.
too much not to immediately do economy of scale. So you have to open up as part of a bigger company. You
Yeah.
like pitch the idea to like Nestle, and then you can be a company now.
Yeah, and you know what's so fucked is that, like, now the default route for creating a business, back in the day, creating a business, the route was, I'm gonna have a business for 30 years, and now it's like, I'm gonna sell this shit for parts in 3 years, and then leverage it to start 3 other
Make 'em
businesses.
ship it.
It's crazy.
Even
like,
even stuff
yeah.
like television or news media outlets, even if you're making a new one, what's the very first step you do? You go to investors. Who are the investors? Discovery. You
That's
know?
true,
There's a
yeah.
reason it's all owned by 5 big megacorps, and it's because it's too prohibitively expensive to start a media franchise.
Yeah.
Or anything. You can't do live news. Like, the layman can't start that as a small business.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. And then they
Otherwise, you're
offered...
just a YouTube channel.
Well, that's the thing. Then they offered social media as like a low entry point way, and so you have this, once again, you have this massive inequality between the giants consolidated at the top
then
and
what do
millions.
we see happen?
Racism. Is it racism?
No.
Oh.
Funders come in, and then accidentally you're paid by Russia promoting
Oh my
Russian
god!
propaganda.
You're right! Holy shit, he's so right. Fuck. You're right, yeah.
And you say one of the
there's a
big
vacuum.
media companies
Oh,
is just the
no.
country of Russia.
No! He's right. Yeah, you're right, because like it's almost like there's like a power vacuum left in that middle ground, and so they can just roll in
Yep.
and dump a little bit of cash.
Way more vulnerable.
Oh my god, you're so fucked. Yeah, there's no accountability structure or anything, and they're desperate for funding. Fuck, man, that's disgusting. Okay.
Even if we look at our own space, like even look at like Twitch streamers, like Twitch pool streamers, you've got organizations like
Progressive Victory.
Private Victory.
Yeah.
They come in, right? And even that they might not have a malicious agenda, but they've still got an agenda.
Got an agenda,
you
yeah.
know? And like, why would you turn that money down if it's like a couple grand a month? You're not going to say no to that. Like as a streamer, you're already desperate. There's a reason you're streaming.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you're right. So it's become incredibly cheap to buy large numbers of eyeballs. Yep. Yeah, that's fucked.
Let me jump into. Let's get away.
God damn, I never had the power vacuum model for Russia coming in to fund media, but that's a good point. It's the absence of a structure there that's caused it. Yeah, that's a good shout. Damn.
Super easy to manipulate.
Real political analysis from the pond. It's probably because we're in the Senate committee. We're juicing
yeah, I've got my smart
on the
hat
politics. Yeah, he's got a smart hat on.
My voice is going in. I don't know why.
Oh really? You need to yell
Can you
more.
hear my
That's
voice?
what I do. If you strain your voice really hard every week, eventually it becomes
It's already
calloused
strained.
and strong. Yeah. Just drink more caffeine and scream harder. What?
All over this country, people are sick and tired of paying the highest prices in the world.
Sick and
for
tired
prescription
of
drugs.
paying.
In some cases, we pay 10, 20 times more.
Any Bernie Sanders content I watch, I literally just like repeat after him in his voice. I can't not do it. It's so hard. I have to hold myself back. It's crazy. I will watch an hour-long interview with him, and I'll just talk like him immediately after what he says, because he says things in such a funny way. I'm allowed to make fun of his speech impediment if he's a socialist.
It's basically like a type of Kermit. It's a type of Kermit like this.
It's not quite a
It's
Kermit
like a lower
because
Kermit.
you got the top 99%.
There's just a
the
pitch
top
difference
1%.
between Bernie Sanders and Jordan Peterson.
You think so? I think no, because he's got a
I think
certain
so.
accent.
I think so. Because I think so.
He's got a certain accent. I'm pretty sure he's got a certain
No, I
accent.
think so.
Soyton,
I gotta put
because
it up
he's
higher,
saying
like this,
Soyton.
and then you're just Jordan Peterson.
Well, Jordan Peterson talks like this because he's
Exactly. It's the
he's
same thing at a
unable.
higher pitch.
Yeah, but it's not because it's a different. He's a Canadian, so he talks like this.
All right, press play. Press play.
All right.
For the same exact product sold abroad. My Canadian
Go quiet again. What have you done?
Working on this. You have
Did
been
it?
working on this. You have been dealing with something called the Orange Book. You're one of 3 people in America who knows what
The Orange Book.
is.
I didn't know there were
What have
Protestants.
you been doing? What is the Orange Book?
Wow.
How does that have to do with manipulating the patent system, etc.?
The Orange Catholic
The
Bible.
Orange Book is this obscure
Uh-oh.
repository of patents. And what it means is if a big pharma company lists their patent in the Orange Book, they can automatically block competition. They can keep
What?
generics out of the market.
What is this?
New
The way they
developments,
call it
right?
the Orange Book.
So-called.
Yes, a new development. Say there's a new company on the market that wants to offer the same drug, but at a lower price, at a cheaper price.
What did a pharmaceutical company do to prevent that?
They can list in the Orange Book their patent in a way that will block that.
I've never heard of this. This is insane. What's this? Downloadable data files for the Orange Book. Oh my god, wait, these are just like FDA, fuck you, you don't get to make this. It like... What? This is just a
I think
fucking
we found
text.
2 different Orange Books because I found a book called The Orange Book Reclaiming Liberalism.
Well, yeah, I saw that and I assumed it wasn't quite the right thing.
What is this book though? What is
British
this
Liberal
Orange
Democrat. Liberal, yeah, it's the Lib Dems, Lib Dems.
Book? Oh god.
Yeah, see, you failed. Ah! Gross.
newer, cheaper company
They bought
from
it.
coming onto the market. And what
Oh my God, I'm
our
actually
team at
learning
the
things
FCC
today.
found was that there are all sorts of medical products that have been around for decades. Take the inhaler, the asthma inhaler.
Oh,
Over 40
man.
million Americans
I've got one of
rely on
those.
asthma inhalers.
No, Wiz, no! Don't gasp! Are you okay?
What?
You gasped. I was worried that
No,
you
I
were gonna...
I got one of those. It's okay.
Yeah, but if you gasp, you might get inhaled.
What?
If you, isn't that how?
What?
Isn't that how an inhaler
What are you talking
works?
about?
Isn't it because you gasp too hard? It's over gasping. You get prescribed an inhaler.
Inhaler? I hardly know her.
Ah! Good one.
Inhalers. These inhalers have been around since the 1950s. And in America, people routinely pay over $500 for an inhaler, even though in other countries,
Holy
consumers
fuck.
are paying as little as $20.
Christ.
And so
Oh my god.
I pay nothing.
We would, yeah, it's crazy. We would never be able to afford that with the current number of donations that we have for this stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna die of
Wink,
asthma.
wink. Yeah. He needs his pond water. He needs to hydrate. He needs to hydrate his little... Look, he's so thirsty. He's so thirsty. He drank so much, he got addicted to it. He got addicted to the pond
I'm
water.
dehydrated.
Yeah, if only you donated and
lungs.
slapped me in the face with a funny little scroll message. That would be upsetting. I would be very upset. I would react to your presence of money.
Every
So our
second you
team
don't
took a
donate
close
is a
look.
second I'm dying.
Yeah, he's dying.
Everybody hear that? $500, $20. Continue.
Oh, what?
even though in other countries,
Is there a live
consumers are
audience?
paying as little as
No,
$20.
no, Bernie's just like that, and I love him. I love him. He's the best. He is a muppet.
And so our team took a close
Let me
look.
interrupt you. Everybody hear that? $500, $20.
You hear that? You hear that? He's such a grandpa. He's just talking to his audience. He's talking to the Bernie Sanders bros. He's literally talking to Bernie bros. This is his YouTube channel. He's an influencer, dude.
Right, Smug has clicked the
Were
screen,
able to do
watch him
this
use the
is
arrow
because they were
keys, and the
listing
video will be
bogus
fucked up now.
patents
No, I'm good. I'm
And
good.
so
See?
last fall, we sent them letters
careful.
saying we think these patents are illegitimately listed. Under
Fuck
your
yeah.
leadership, the Senate Help Committee also made clear to the asthma
Oh, they're just joking each other
asthma
off
inhaler
now.
manufacturers that there may
cute.
have been some patent tricks going on. And as a result, a whole set of these companies, 3 of the 4 manufacturers recently announced that they're either delisting these patents and are going to cap how much Americans pay out of pocket to no more than $35.
God damn.
Which is pretty remarkable, but also quite troubling that it took
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's so fucked that it was this easy to solve the problem, right? Like, you could have saved those people $400. That's money that they've spent. That's like fucking generational wealth inequality. The way that builds up over 10 years, fucking hell. God, you just have to like, you just get fucking siphoned by these megacorps. It's terrifying. Ugh. How much did you pay for an inhaler? You got it for free. You got it for free on the
Yeah, free.
NHS?
I got 2 for free.
This man
I was
is
in there
hogging
for
all
like
of
10
the
minutes.
This man is inhaling all the inhalers.
I went to the doctors, right? Because I was like, every time I laugh, because you guys can probably hear it, every time I laugh like really hard, I start coughing, and I was like, that doesn't sound good. And I went to the doctors, and the doctors was like, go speak to this, come back later and come speak to this nun. And I was like, what?
What?
Her name was like Sister Helen. And I went back, and it was like fully like a nun in this doctor's office, and she did like a whole asthma thing. She gave me this thing, she was like blowing it, and I blew in it, and she was like,
Sorry.
actually, your lungs are pretty good.
Sorry.
But I'm gonna give you an inhaler anyway.
Sorry, this sounds like abuse. I'm sorry. They sent you to a nun, made you blow her, and then she said that was pretty good, but you might need some help? Did you get abused?
Basically, she gave me this thing. It's called a. Like, can you hear this? It's called a peak
Yeah.
flow meter. Right?
Oh, I know
Wait,
that.
wait,
Yeah,
wait.
I had one as a kid. Do it. Oh
I
yeah,
got
yeah.
800.
Is that
which is the
good?
limit. I got the best one. Yeah.
Okay. Let me try. Hold on. Let me try.
Go on.
Ow!
Oh, you only got 10. That sucks. I got 800.
Oh god, I blew myself backwards. Jesus
But
Christ.
she was like a proper nun. It was weird. I was like, I
That
didn't
is
know we
weird.
still had those.
We've got asthma nuns.
Yeah. And I was like, what if she needed to touch my like chest?
Oh.
You know when they put the thing to your lungs? But she didn't do that.
No.
And I was like, did she
I'm-
not do that because she was a nun? Or did she just not need to?
Are you unable to do this properly because you're a nun? Yeah, that would be worrying.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, is it a nun thing that she can't touch my chest with a stethoscope? Or is that just like normal now?
She probably doesn't believe in science.
Yeah, well, but then why did you give me 2 inhalers?
Probably a god thing. I don't know. Maybe they're empty. Maybe she's trying to prove that the power of God works. Maybe she's just one of those ones where she can actually heal people, and the doctor and the GP is just like, yeah, fuck
Are
it,
you
just let her-
suggesting my inhaler's full of holy water?
Yeah, that would make sense.
I've just been spritzing my throat.
That's why your throat's been burning so much, because you're a fucking demon.
took so long to get here, and that for years, Americans have been paying inflated prices for these essential products.
Well, I'm sure you have heard from people all over this country. Asthma is a very serious issue. COPD, very serious issue. People need these inhalers in order to stay alive.
Death to copters.
As you've indicated, people paying outrageous prices, and I'm glad we were able to at least deal with 3 out of the 4. We're working on the 4th. That's Teva. GlaxoSmithKline will take a little bit longer. All right, let me go to while we're on prescription drugs, an issue of concern to me. A lot of talk about...
God, imagine watching this as like a high-ranking GlaxoSmithKline executive, and Bernie Sanders just like, yup, so we're gonna kill everyone in GlaxoSmithKline. We'll get to Steven next. But yeah, you know, we're working on it. Like, doesn't your stock just fucking plunge? Don't you just get like fucking terrified?
pharmacy...
They're mocking you for death.
Yes. You're working on that as well.
We are.
All right, what are you doing there?
So pharmacy benefit managers, but basically they're these middlemen. So they determine who gets access to what medicines and at what price. And we
Back that up. I mean, that's an extraordinary statement. Who gets access to it? One would assume, right, that all of us have access, right? It's the marketplace. All of us would have access to all of the great drugs that are on the market, right? Not the case?
Not the case. I mean, what these PBMs help determine is when you go to the pharmacy, what medicines can you access at the pharmacy? And we have been hearing at the FTC a whole set of complaints.
I mean, imagine being the guy that the CEO of like GlaxoSmithKline goes to, and he's like, hey, so listen, on a distribution graph, there is a point where we can maximize the amount of money we make while minimizing the number of people who die, which would end up making us less money, because obviously if they all die, we can't keep exploiting them for 10 years. Can you figure out the exact point on this graph where I can extract as much wealth from as many people as possible while not quite killing them? help me financially edge an entirely medically vulnerable population, please. And then get those numbers on my desk by Monday. Like, that's a whole breed of job that really exists at every single one of these companies. There's a group of people who are literally doing medical edging to try and max out the money they're making. It's fucking crazy.
One of these complaints is that the medicines that are made available at the pharmacy are not the most affordable medicines for Americans, but it's actually the medicines on which the PBMs are getting the biggest kickback from the drug manufacturer.
Technical term is rebate, but I like your term
Technical
better.
term is rebate. Some people say these may be kickbacks, which is a really troubling allegation, because the whole point of our drug system is supposed to be that when patents expire, cheaper generics are supposed to come onto the market. And once they're on the market, Americans are supposed to be able to get access to those
Is that
generics.
how it's supposed
But even that's... Oh, hold on, Bernie.
to work?
That's how it's supposed to work.
I'm only chairman of the committee. I didn't know. No, of course, it doesn't.
But it's insane that even that is a dystopia, right? Like, imagine living in a world where you discover a drug that allows you to, like, say, I don't know, let's say fucking diabetes or whatever. Like, you discover a drug or a process that helps you, like, make things easier for everyone, and your reward for saving lives is for everyone to go, cool, for 15 years, you have a monopoly on this. Like, what? Timing the monopoly doesn't make it better. We're delaying. We're just making you temporarily a bastard, and then it's fine. Oh my god, dude. My Mina hat is very comfy.
I still
like
think
that.
she's trying to attack you.
I think so too. She has been nibbling on my frontal lobe. It's not good. Like, I think she's through the bone now. Ow. Ow.
Ooh.
Ow. I'm being brave. Ow, it's like the dentist. I'm consuming. She's like a head crab. We've turned her into a head crab. Oh no.
There's massive amounts of lack of transparency, price manipulation. It is a very, very broken system.
And so people are
Massive
concerned that
amounts
even
of
once
lack
you
of
have these
transparency.
generic-
Yeah. Look, he's old, okay?
That sentence doesn't make sense.
Shut
I know what
up.
he means, but that
Yeah.
sentence doesn't make sense.
Leave him alone. As if we've ever been coherent.
Massive amounts of lack of transparency.
on the market that when Americans go to the pharmacy, they only have access to the expensive branded version and not the generics. And one reason some people say is because of some of these rebates and kickbacks at the PBM. So we at the FTC are scrutinizing that. The other set of concerns we've heard is that these PBMs may be squeezing independent pharmacies, but they've also what's known as vertically integrated. So they now have merged with health insurers, and they also now have their own mail order pharmacies. And so we hear from independent pharmacies that that creates a conflict of interest, because you have your community pharmacies that are now dependent, but they're also competing with them. And so we hear that PBMs sometimes impose all sorts of arbitrary fees on independent pharmacies. I was just in Philadelphia the other week meeting with local pharmacists, and they were sharing some of them have been in business for decades, but they're on the cusp of going bankrupt and of these pharmacy deserts emerging in local communities because some of these tactics and potentially
Pharmacy deserts are a thing now? Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, really? Otherwise known as, like, I guess drug desert would sound cooler. I live in a drug desert. That would be kind of... What?
Jotun, he's got the permissions to join this call whenever he wants.
He said okay to a debate. He really wants to recover. There's no way. He really wants to recover from his poor showing. He let a retard who knows nothing about Israel Palestine come on and give him grief about the pages. Okay, all right. Listen, he's got yeah. This motherfucker has perms. He's sharp whenever he likes. Let me guess. He's gonna come in and be very serious about the Beyblade take.
Oh no.
Oh no. Wait, that's gonna be funny.
No.
Hold on, that might be content. Whatever.
coercive practices by the PBM. So we at the FTC, a couple of years ago announced a public inquiry into this.
Yeah, we don't have a bug for him yet. That's the problem. We have to put him on a little TV. He's a TV sona.
Investigation ongoing, and in the coming weeks and months, we'll be able to share publicly what we've been doing on that.
This is enormously
Jotun, stop
important.
griefing.
Unbelievably, 1 out of 4 Americans cannot afford to purchase the prescriptions that doctors prescribe. That is insane. And it has a lot to do with the greed of the pharmaceutical industry. Also, I think the manipulations of PBM. So thank you for what you're doing.
Is the
in that
video
area.
going
Let me get
quieter,
to
or is
a
Bernie
whole
just
other issue.
not using his mic
This is
properly?
fascinating.
The video itself is changing volume repeatedly. I don't know why, but leftist audio,
It's so
you know.
annoying.
That's how you know it's a real leftism house over here.
And this is the non-compete clauses. All right. Everybody know what a non-compete clause is? All right.
Oh, this is big.
Lina will tell you. What is a non-compete clause?
So a non-compete clause is a provision in a lot of people's employment contracts that basically says, even once you leave your current job, for a certain number of years, you cannot go work for a competitor. And these clauses started off in the boardroom,
Yeah, you know this,
mostly
right?
applying to executives, but in decades,
I can't
they've
believe
proliferated.
this.
And so you have fast food workers.
All right, stop now. Fast food worker. Not talking about the CEO of a major.
Bernie,
That
what?
is a bit fucked. To be fair though, right? You're working at Burger King, you get fired from Burger King, you can't work at KFC now?
Yeah. So the original point of a non-compete clause, it's so insane. The original point of a non-compete clause was that you don't move trade secrets from one company to another, right? So the idea is
Well,
you're not.
I've signed non-competes before. I can understand in different industries. Like I worked in an industry where
No, but it's all
every
bullshit.
business in that industry was identical.
Yeah, but Wiz, what you don't understand is that this makes no sense because there are already massive penalties for moving trade secrets around. There is, in fact, a whole branch of law about trade secrets. So the non-compete laws were built in place based on a lie, and the real reason, obviously, is so that even if you, I don't know, fucking rape someone at KFC, they're still going to keep their job because they don't want to, they can't move to any other fast food joint, so they're going to end up homeless or okay with the sexual harassment. Like, that's it. It's basically just a way to force people to stay. It was never
Yeah, trap
about
people.
stopping them from finding. Yeah, it's trapping. It's crazy.
Well, that's what I was about to say. So when people would like sign them, it basically was like, oh, you can't move to the competitor because they only were introduced when the competitors started trying to poach staff,
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously they all benefited from.
and then suddenly we all
yeah.
had to sign non-competes, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I see what's happening.
You know what sucks though is that I never have to sign non-competes because once you reach a certain status of like in the corporate hierarchy, no one will sign on to any job that doesn't have a non-compete. So the people most likely to start a new company in competition or to move trade secret around are the ones who don't end up having to sign a non-compete, and all the low-level workers have to sign a non-compete. It makes literally no sense. It's so fucked.
Yeah.
The company now. You're talking about a fast food worker is what, prohibited from going to another fast
The
food
secret
worker?
sauce
Exactly.
is gonna be
Fast food workers,
conveyed
security
between
guards,
different companies.
janitors.
All right, everybody understand what you're saying. You work, hypothetically, at McDonald's, flipping hamburgers, and you what, prohibited from going to Burger King across the street?
That's right. You could say for 5 years.
Bernie Sanders truly talks like his audience are Americans.
I did the exact same metaphor except with KFC.
No, but he's like, does everyone understand what I'm saying? Listen to this. You're flipping a burger. You're flipping a burger like at a KFC. And then you can't go to another restaurant. Is everybody understanding? Okay, please continue, Lina. Continue.
Years, you can't go work for a competitor within a particular
And this
area.
because you're going to reveal top secrets to the Burger King?
There are a whole set of arguments the companies make, including that they need to protect trade secrets, that they can't allow sensitive, competitive information to be disclosed.
How sensitive is flipping hamburgers?
I think especially in some of these areas, it's difficult to see what a legitimate justification is. But
To be fair,
we've seen
to be
these
fair,
crop up.
the only
Oh, yeah.
company that, like fast food company that actually deserves to have a non-compete is KFC, so they can protect their 11 secret herbs and spices.
That's true. No one knows what the secret herbs and spices are.
And what's it called?
Burger King doesn't have a
Krabby
special
Patties.
sauce. Oh, Krabby Patties. Yeah, yeah. Well, that makes sense. They do have a
You
non-compete.
can't let the secret formula get out.
Yeah,
SpongeBob
but-
needs to sign an
But then the
NDA
only
or
other,
a
the only other
non-compete
place,
even.
the only other place you could go is the Chum Bucket anyway, and no one wants to work there, so you don't even need a non-compete.
Yeah, that shit stinks, dude.
Yeah.
All sorts of places. So last year, the FTC proposed to ban non-compete clauses in the vast majority of employment contracts. We got over 22,000 comments, including not just from your fast food workers and your security guards, but also from doctors, from nurses, from engineers.
How does it work? I'm a nurse at a hospital. What do I have to sign?
You have to sign a contract that limits you from leaving
Wow.
and working for a competing hospital.
What?
And we actually heard from some healthcare workers
Between hospitals? This makes no
They might
sense.
collude about saving lives.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like, hey, hold on a minute. Are you using that thing that saved that baby from our hospital and that hospital? You're going to court, bitch! You're getting sued to death! You're done! Jesus Christ!
Well, a
What?
big part of hospitals
Trade
in America
secrets?
are the fact that they are just businesses. It's the
I
whole,
know,
like,
but-
why insurance is such a big thing.
It's
You don't have
fucking
insurance, we get cats.
Yeah, but it's fucking crazy. Like, you can't go to another hospital? What trade secrets are there between hospitals? Like, don't they want to? Shouldn't they all want to get better at learn? Oh my god, isn't medicine
Customer
an
bases, literally.
open? Oh
Customer
my god,
bases.
fuck's sake, dude.
You want recurring
Workers that-
customers.
Yeah.
during
You
the
don't want
pandemic.
if like it's that thing where it's like something that sounds like a no-brainer. Like, for example, like say you're chronically ill and you want to have the same doctor, you'll happily move hospitals to follow that same doctor because he understands
Right.
your case. However, in America, that'll be viewed as like losing a customer.
Oh no, I totally understand this. Yeah, I followed my hairdresser to between 3 salons so far.
Insane.
What? Once you, hey, listen, hey, everyone.
That's because you got
important-
PTSD surrounding your
No, listen, no, shut up. Okay, once you reach a certain age, as an adult, you fucking children, you will in fact have a hairdresser that you follow around, okay? That's normal. That's normal to have a hairdresser that works for you, okay? You have a guy or a gal.
No, you just
that
go
rely
into
on.
any barbers. You say
Don't
number
go
2
to
on the
Supercuts.
sides and trim
No.
the top.
No! Oh my god, no wonder you look like shit. Jesus Christ, dude. Number 2 on the
Yeah,
sides,
good.
trim on top. Fuck me, dude.
I look good at the moment.
Insane behavior. Insane.
So you
When
need cost
over a
you
period
cost
of
you
weeks
£9.
and months-
I'm not even. £9.
For a guy that doesn't even speak English. He speaks like enough English to understand like the numbers of the trim you want. And then the entire time he speaks in Turkish to his co-workers.
Oh my god. Look, I got my hair cut at my place, okay? And look how stylish I am.
Mina's eating all that.
What? No, it can't be. Mina, get off for a second. Ah, I'm bald! No! I was growing 3 hairs there. I was
Keep
using
your head warm.
minoxidil. There we go. That's better. She's a good head warmer.
the pandemic was flaring up in different parts of a particular state, and doctors wanted
One
to
of her
go
feet is
where
pushing
their
into my
help was
eyelid.
most needed. But in practice, some doctors were not able to do so because of the non-competes. And so we've seen that these non-competes hurt workers. Our team estimated that collectively, American workers' wages are up to $300 billion less than they would be
Whoa.
if you didn't have these non-competes. We also hear that this is bad for small businesses because
Put another way, giant corporations have stolen $300 billion worth of wealth from the lower working classes as a result of this policy. This one policy has earned them $300 billion. Fucking hell, dude.
Insane.
Insane. Like, oh my god, the number of services you can... That's like the fucking UK's budget on shit, you know? That's so much money. It's crazy.
oftentimes if a business wants to enter a market and grow, they might not be able to hire relevant workers because they're all locked up
Oh my
by
God.
the existing big companies.
What is the status of your investigation?
So we proposed a rule. We got thousands of comments. Our team has been reviewing these comments, and in the coming weeks, we'll be able to share how we're finalizing that rule.
Let's talk about our friends at Amazon.
Ooh.
You have filed an antitrust lawsuit against them.
So the reason that Lina Khan got her job originally, she was a legal scholar, and she came up with a new framework for antitrust law based on legally how you would go about breaking up Amazon. Maybe we can take a little look at this in a bit, because it is actually kind of, at least the preface is probably quite interesting.
Should we skip to the next thing?
Yeah, let's. I want to look at this antitrust law thing, because that is actually kind of a big deal. That's the thing that got her this job, and I think that it is interesting because it's something that everyone brings up a lot when they're trying to criticize her. So here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready for actual learning? You wanted politics! This is politics! We're gonna learn about the legal theory behind breaking up Amazon, written by Lina Khan, and the reason that she got the job in the first place. Let's go! Why break up Amazon? Just nationalize it? I don't know if nationalizing Amazon would honestly, because Amazon isn't a natural monopoly, right? Like, that's not, you kind of want to nationalize natural monopolies. Like, a postal service is a better national monopoly than a e-commerce site. You know, energy is a natural monopoly. Internet is a natural monopoly. Some people would say social media is a natural monopoly as well, because once you achieve a certain size of network effect, it basically becomes impossible to get a new competitor in the social media space, so it kind of becomes a natural monopoly. So those are the kinds of things you probably...
How do you feel about the nationalized monopoly of the postal service, UK?
Well, I mean, I think it's good. Like, it's better that it's nationalized than not.
Can you explain to me how it works?
What do you mean?
How's the post office work?
Well, as I understand it, you write down something approximating the name of the person that you want to send something to, and then a Discord username is fine. And then if there's a post office nearby, they can just send you, like, roughly speaking, what the post office nearby is. And so you scribble on a piece of paper, like, their Discord username and a nearby post office.
Because the way they work, right? You can only send from post office to post office. You can't send it
Correct.
to people's houses, right?
So then so for example, if you, let's theoretically, just hypothetically, maybe like a laptop or something, you just fling that in a package, you throw in some jammy dodgers, you throw in some little treats, just in case the postman gets a bit peckish.
Anthrax.
Couple death threats, yep. White powder, and then and then they go to the post office and they cry and blubber in front of them until they hand over the package through emotional coercion. That's how that works, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Works every time,
Good
bitch!
system.
Ed got his laptop and his jammy dodgers. I regret nothing. Do you write down a return address? Absolutely not. If I wrote down a return address, someone might know where I live. That's a terrible idea, man. That's insane. What are you thinking? You've lost your mind! You've lost your mind! Okay. So, Amazon's clocked staggering growth. It generates meager profits, choosing to price below cost and expand widely instead. This is, okay. So this is one of the tendencies of monopolies, is that they actually don't end up generating insane profits initially. What they want to do is dominate the entire market sphere first, and then they start jacking up prices. The company's positioned itself at the center of e-commerce and now serves as essential infrastructure for a host of other businesses that depend on it. Elements of the firm's structure and conduct pose anti-competitive concerns, yet it has escaped antitrust scrutiny. Wow!
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Wait, let me read this. Ow!
Whoa!
Welcome
to the pond.
Welcome to the pond! I don't... Is it going off twice? Oh,
Zibalba?
oh god, why did it go in my throat? Why is it crumple up and go in my throat? Zibalba. Frog tier! Wow, green boy, thank you.
Ribbit. Add it.
What? Oh shit. Wait, but how much is frog tier? I don't know. Fuck. Let me get into the greasy spot. What how much is frog tier?
I don't know.
Well, it's like $20. Let's 25. Woo! Right,
no, I don't think it's 25. Jesus, chill out,
I think
man.
frog tier is. The frog tier is the second highest. Oh no, that's smug tier. Hold on, let me fix it. Let's call it like 17. Why not? Bloop. There we go. Yeah, it's like 12. Let's go with that. Just vibing. Do not.
Frog tier is $8.99. You're insane.
Shit. All right, hold on. Let me fix it. Okay, so.
Yeah, exactly. He's insane. No, the lowest
like
tier
13. There we
is
go.
sheep tier, and it's $4.99. Thank you,
There we go.
guys.
I don't know how it
Have you
works.
joined
I'm
50
retarded. What do you think happens when that bar fills up? Oh god. Okay. Well, as long as it doesn't fly into
Join
my
the
mouth.
pond? What does this mean?
Why are you joining the pond? As long as it doesn't fly into my mouth. Yotin, you don't get to join the pond. Stop subscribing, all of you.
What does joining the pond mean? Did
It
you
means subscribe.
Yo, did you just subscribe and unsubscribe?
He's just unsubscribed and resubscribed. Don't tell them that. They're all gonna do it now. Fuck me, dude. We can't interrupt the content for the next 20 minutes while they all meme. I'm gonna ignore you fucks. Okay. The company listed consistent losses for the first 7 years it was in business, with debts of $2 billion. Very normal. While it exits the red more regularly now, negative returns are still common. The company reported losses in 2 of the last 5 years. No, stop. 2 of the last 5 years, for example, and its highest yearly net income was still less than 1% of its net sales. Jesus! Its net income is less than 1% of its net sales. It makes less than a 1% margin of profit. That's a rounding error. Holy fuck, they really do just, like, refuse to ever make any money, so they never have to pay any fuck. Jesus Christ. Okay. The company barely ekes out a profit, spends a fortune on expansion of free shipping, is famously opaque about its business operations, yet investors pour into the stock. Another commented that Amazon is in a class of its own when it comes to its valuation. Reporters and financial analysts continue to speculate about when and how Amazon's deep investments and steep losses will pay off. When was this written? This was written 2017. Okay, maybe has Amazon started profiting yet?
I don't think so.
I think they have in the last 8 years.
It grows way more than it makes money.
That's true. Okay. Alright. Jesus Christ. Okay. In some ways, the story of Amazon's sustained and growing dominance is also the story of changes in our antitrust laws. Due to a change in legal thinking and practice in the 1970s and 1980s, this is the Reagan thing that we were talking about, antitrust now assesses competition largely with an eye to the short-term interests of consumers, not producers or the health of the market as a whole. Antitrust doctrine views low consumer prices alone to be evidence of sound competition. Aha! Okay. So basically, as long as Amazon can suppress its own price and doesn't immediately start jacking it up. So in other words, modern antitrust law only works once monopolies do the most obvious and massive thing that they can do, which is jack up prices for everyone to the point where no one can afford anything. Which they would never do, because if you're Amazon and you have a monopoly, what do? You look at antitrust law, and then you're like, cool, what is the maximum? It's the same thing I was talking about earlier with the graph. You find the point at which you can maximize the profit you make from people without triggering the antitrust scrutiny. By this measure, Amazon has excelled. It has evaded is she going to say the exact same thing? It has evaded government scrutiny in part through fervently devoting its business strategy and rhetoric to reducing prices for consumers. Amazon's closest encounter with antitrust authorities was when the Justice Department sued other companies for teaming up against Amazon. It is as if Bezos charted the company's growth by first drawing a map of antitrust laws and then devising routes to smoothly bypass them. Yeah, exactly what I said. With its missionary zeal for consumers, Amazon has marched toward monopoly by singing the tune of contemporary antitrust. Okay.
Marocat, I haven't read Going Postal, but I played Postal 2. Does that count?
Same thing. Okay, let's hear what her actual argument is. My argument is that gauging real competition in the 21st century marketplace, especially in the case of online platforms, requires analyzing the underlying structure and dynamics of markets. Rather than pegging competition to a narrow set of outcomes, e.g. lower prices for consumers, this approach would examine the competitive process itself. Animating this framework is the idea that a company's power and the potential anti-competitive nature of that power cannot be fully understood without looking to the structure of a business and the structural role it plays in. Oh my god, she's anti-techno capital. I love her. Holy fuck. This is critical theory, by the way. This is straight up. Like, she's literally looking at, like, the system dynamics rather than the outcomes. Applying this idea involves, for example, assessing whether a company's structure creates certain anti-competitive conflicts of interest, whether it can cross-leverage market advantages across distinct lines of businesses. So in this case, for example, Amazon using AWS to massively underprice other areas of its business so that it can push people out of, like, pet food or whatever, because they make so much money in another business, they can cross-leverage their advantage in AWS. Yep. And whether the structure of the market incentivizes and permits predatory conduct. Predatory conduct in this case, I imagine, is going to be things like you start selling something on Amazon and then Amazon just sells a cheaper version of the exact same thing that they've made for cheaper, which happens a lot. So that's like a very, very common Amazon marketplace strategy. Okay,
it's funny how there's also the inverse as well. They'll take stuff from AliExpress and charge it at a premium.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, well, that's kind of... Well, I think what happens is there's like these arbitrage people like the drop shippers will take cheap goods and then take them to a market with like higher sort of minimum expectations of pricing. And then, so like you've got those drop shippers, and then Amazon will just start doing it directly to cut out the middleman. Yeah. So basically, everyone's doing their. Amazon gets market research for free, and then they just take over a product line as soon as that you've established that your product line is successful on Amazon. It's like one of the most dangerous things about them.
Yeah, Amazon Basics line, right?
Yeah, Amazon Basics. That's it. Yeah. You're right. Who's fucking yapping at me?
What do you mean? Wait,
Whatever.
what?
Sorry, someone's pinging me in Discord. All right, cool. So we've read a bit of her paper. I like her approach. I think she gives a good breakdown of Amazon. Let's have a look at some of the criticism of her, because she has generated more hate than any woman I've seen in the last 10 years, other than maybe Taylor Swift, when it comes to the number of articles written about her. Let's have a look. Yeah. Let's have a look at this one. Fortune. The Federal Trade Commission and Chair Lina Khan are plagued by classic mismanagement. Oh, is this an audio article?
The Federal Trade Commission and Chair Lina Khan are plagued by classic mismanagement.
Oh, this is
Good morning. It's easy to understand why CEOs want nothing to do with U.S. politics. As Saturday's South Carolina primary results demonstrate,
this is horrible. Would you rather I read or listen to this shit? Okay, here we go.
There's not a yapathon.
Okay, fine. It's easy to understand why CEOs want nothing to do with US politics. We'll just look at some of the, like, the Republican Party remains enthralled to Donald Trump, who won business support for overhauling corporate taxes, but also alienated business leaders with attacks on global trade, democratic institutions, rule of law, human rights. On the other side is President Joe Biden, who deserves praise for overseeing passage of the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act and the most sweeping climate-related business incentives in history, but also has filled his government with regulators pursuing blatantly anti-business agendas. Okay, so this is all of the business media is basically whining about her. They've also, like, obviously invited her out repeatedly to speak and defend herself, including from, let's have a look. I think the WSJ is probably going to be the one that's the most interesting for this. Where's the Wall Street Journal? Is this the one? This is the
Probably
one.
on Wall Street.
Oh, no, New York Times.
Court, where you didn't.
Okay. Oh, God.
Why is this so quiet?
This one is actually quiet. There we go.
Whoa.
Lina Khan versus Jeff Bezos. This is Big Tech's real cage match. God, she looks so cool. Yeah! Whoa!
Please welcome.
I really like the production value. That's cool. Like the whole like kind of
Yeah,
all
you
of the
got an
articles.
editor for that one.
Yeah. They must have some kind of like professional editor. I wish we had that.
Andrew Ross Sorkin
Yeah,
and his
sick.
guest.
Is this another AI voice? Play it.
Yeah. There. Yeah.
You're doing Family Guy. Stop doing Family Guy.
Meh, meh, meh. But it's I'm doing a dick joke.
You already do enough of a Stewie Griffin impression.
I'm doing a hey, fuck you, buddy. I'm doing a dick joke. Look, how big is too big? With that face. Come on. Go on. Okay, fine, fuck you.
Chair of the Federal
What, you
Trade
wanna
Commission,
learn all of a
Lina
sudden?
Khan.
Is that an AI voice?
Probably. She's so cool.
Lina Khan is here, everybody.
Woo!
You were just meeting Bob Iger for the first time. You don't like to meet. Do you like to meet CEOs, by the way?
We're always happy to meet CEOs.
The
as
way
part
this
of our
camera
process,
angle is,
and
it
so,
feels like an episode of Succession.
Yeah, it does actually. Holy shit, you're right. They are. I wonder if Succession. I wonder if Succession pulled the camera angle from these kind of things, because it does. That is the vibe, isn't it? For
Totally.
these. Yeah, that's
you know,
crazy.
oftentimes if we've done an investigation, gotten a recommendation to move forward, as part of that, we usually sit down both with the lawyers, but also often they bring the execs, and so we meet as part of that process.
I love her. They're like, you don't like meeting CEOs, and she's like, I love meeting CEOs when I bring them to prison. She's so fucking sick. Yeah, as part of the process of me ruining their lives, I often have to meet them.
Let me properly introduce Lina Khan. She is, of course,
God, she's fucking
possibly
sick.
one of the most consequential figures in the world of business right now. She runs the Federal Trade Commission. She is the youngest chair in the history of the FTC. In September, she made her biggest and boldest move yet, along with 17 states filing an antitrust lawsuit against Amazon, accusing the company of illegally using its market power to raise prices and exclude competition. We're going to talk about that. She famously wrote a paper about Amazon while at Yale Law School, and it was titled Amazon's Antitrust Paradox. In more than 2 years at the helm of the agency, she's now investigated and challenged nearly 40 mergers. There are a lot of CEOs who are scared of Lina Khan.
Oh, I forgot to mention gamers. Hey, gamers, everyone. She is the person who's trying to stop the Microsoft Activision merger. She's been fighting it the whole time. So, you rightoid freaks, Gamergate fucks, this is the woman who is trying to stop your video games getting shitty. I know you will whine about it. You will complain. Oh no, the mergers are going to ruin my video games.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Are anti-Gamergate against this thing, or are they for this thing?
No, so the Gamergate people hate the merger. It's like, don't forget, populist anti-corporatism goes on both sides of the spectrum now. So, the Gamergaters, they claim they hate woke media, and then they claim that, like...
Wait, which side's going to make the other side more woke?
Well, they think that the big merger is one of the things that's killing AAA gaming. They do. They talk about it. They hate. Don't forget, they hate Activision. They hate Blizzard. They hate EA.
But they hate it because it's going woke. So what about the merger makes it go more woke?
Giant corporations are woke, Wiz. They go woke because they want to appeal to the gays.
But surely those corporations are both already so giant they can get even more woke.
Yeah, but
is it a compound
then they're
thing?
gonna. Well, it is a compound thing, but also they also hate loot boxes and microtransactions, so they think that Activision is going to ruin all the Microsoft games and vice versa. Right?
Do they actually hate those?
They do. They literally complain about them. They all buy them, but they also complain about them constantly.
I think it's a different subset that hates microtransactions.
No,
in games.
it's the same. Gamergaters talk about this shit constantly. Don't forget that Gamergaters' only interaction with politics is racism and video games. And so anything that hurts their video games, like loot boxes and microtransactions, they will complain about, like, oh, AAA games are so woke and shit now.
They really have no political compass, do they?
They don't.
It's just a bunch of random fucking things.
It's just, imagine if all of your politics was entirely defined around how the real world affects your toys. Wiz, imagine if that was you.
No, but it's not even based on that, because it's like
they get it wrong.
I don't know. It doesn't align. Like, if you were,
it doesn't. Yeah.
Why would you be like? Why would you be like financially liberal and then like socially conservative? Is that what they are? Is that what Gamergaters are?
Yeah, no. Well, that's how the right-wing populists work. They're retarded, but basically, broadly speaking, they are economically left in the sense that they're anti-corporate. But half of them are anti-corporate because the corporations are run by Jews, and the other half are anti-corporate because the corporations are just gonna go woke to make a bunch more money.
Insane.
The backlash against Activision Blizzard and a lot of these other mergers, and so Activision Blizzard and the Activision Blizzard Microsoft stuff.
They still pre-order all their games anyway.
Absolutely,
pre-orders are still bigger than.
To be clear, none of this impacts any of their behavior in day-to-day life. They just complain about it on Reddit, 4chan.
Nice to see you.
Great to be here.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Engaged and challenged nearly 40 mergers. There are a lot of CEOs who are scared of Lina Khan.
Base.
Nice to see you.
Great to be here.
You've been involved in a whole number of cases, some of which never went to court, some that went to court where you didn't win. I'm curious what your idea, and I think a lot of the business community is trying to figure out what your idea of winning is. What does it mean to win for you in your role?
So look, the Federal Trade Commission has an incredibly important job.
I feel like this is a setup. That feels like a setup question.
Yeah, it is.
Because one of the things that Lina Khan, and we'll look at some more of the critique in a bit, one of the things that Lina Khan has been critiqued for is that the internal surveys from the FTC are demonstrate a low confidence in her. So, like, I think they used to have like an 89% approval rate of leadership. Now they're down to like 53% or something crazy like that. And a big part of that can be explained away by the fact that these fuckers were all hired over the last 50 years, where the FTC was a certain way, hiring a certain kind of people, and basically just a bureaucratic, pointlessly, weak endeavor, who would only ever take jobs that they could absolutely win with no risk of loss. And now that the FTC has lost a few cases because she's been ambitious, the internal morale is lower as a result, I guess. Smugbug, how unpopular do you think antitrust is amongst Republican voters exactly? Among Democrat voters, 6% strongly or somewhat oppose antitrust, and among Republican voters, 12%. Yeah, but that's a much lower distinction between those two groups than you would expect. That is not a massive gap. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Republicans... Another interesting about Lina Khan is that she is supported by both Bernie Sanders and Matt Gaetz. There are crazy-ass Republicans on the far right of the party who support Lina Khan because they're so anti-business that they're so anti-big woke corporations that they actually endorse her breaking up the big trusts.
They like the mom and pops.
Yeah, exactly. They have actually gone full full anti-big business.
Job, right? We're the main cop on the beat.
Matt Gaetz wants big tech to get broken up so we can't get access to his logs. That's true, actually. Yeah, Matt Gaetz wants big tech to be broken up so that smaller things like fucking fringe, kind of social media groups and things can kind of get free reign.
Yep.
He wants to break down
They can
the
further
big
radicalize
companies.
people in little bubbles.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. A majority of Republican voters support raising taxes. Is that true? Maybe.
For unfair methods of
Depends how it's phrased.
competition or unfair deceptive acts or practices across a huge chunk of the economy. So we have a big job, we have limited resources. And so we have to think about how can we have the greatest impact on what we identify as some of the biggest problems. And so we are focused very much on areas like healthcare, on food and agriculture, really have spent a lot of time talking to market participants, businesses, big and small, to understand where are their choke points and what can we be doing. The other big thing for us is to have impact. We're focused not just on bringing individual lawsuits, but also on issuing rules. So these are market-wide rules that we've issued on areas like non-competes, junk fees. I think big picture success for us looks like making sure the public knows that the FTC is in their corner fighting for them against illegal business
How much of your business?
She's so fucking good. Holy shit. Success for us is the public. No, he gave her like a shitty win condition, and she was like, yeah, this is my win condition. It's the public actually having faith in the FTC again.
Yep.
Which she absolutely can point to, because she gets more. The FTC has received more tens of thousands of comments and letters about how they can, in support and to give context to the various actions that they're taking than any other, FTC run administration in history.
Business then is about deterrence, meaning that nobody even does the deal because they're too scared to bring it to you.
I mean, look, as a law enforcer with limited resources, you want to promote deterrence, right? And there are a few components of that. One is you need to be clear about what the rules are, right? So bright line rules.
Death penalty for corporations. Let's go! The maximum deterrent. Just nuke the company. End
Making
it.
clear what is permitted, what's not permitted. And so that's why we at the FTC actually prefer those types of per se prohibitions rather than complex regulations that oftentimes favor big incumbents over small businesses and startups.
True.
The other factor for us is how do we make sure we're addressing root problems and the kind of root culprits? And so, as an enforcer, sometimes there can be a temptation to jack up or juice up your enforcement numbers by going after low-level players, right? So go after all these mobsters rather than focus your energy on the boss at the top.
Oh my god, yeah, and this is why the FTC morale has gone lower, is because like a police department, it is a lot easier and more satisfying to just burn through all the low-level drug dealers rather than attacking the actual structure or the or even better, the dynamics that result in that group forming in the first place, which is what she's focused on. So she's working on a much less satisfying but much more important in reality process. Super cool. God, she's so cool.
There's something like
And
that.
we're really-
Is it in crime? Is it in gang stuff where it's like if you take down a leader, usually it is effective?
I don't know.
'Cause a
Actually,
lot
I've
of
never
people
looked
talk
at the
about,
numbers.
filling a it creates a vacuum. But I think in most cases, if you do just take out the head of a group, it works.
That's not something I've ever seen. I've not seen any numbers about whether you should attack the bottom or the top or whatever. My understanding of criminal, maybe I need to look into this, but my understanding is that generally speaking, you want to stop recruitment by giving people better options, and generally if other areas of people don't generally want to be drug dealers, right? Usually they do that out of a necessity or because there's just so few opportunities, they have no faith in the current system, so they never feel like they're going to achieve as much as they would just by breaking the system. But maybe cutting the head off the snake works better. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a fallacy. It's like the idea of like cutting the head off a hydra and to take its place is a bit of a fallacy.
Really? Okay. Okay, I'll look into that. You're a zealous partisan. You act against your interest in furtherance of it. Can't bear to read the media everyone in business reads because of its editorial bent. You went to business school? Who you... Oh, he's yapping at someone who went to business school. Okay. You talking to Brett? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Should we... Wait, hold on. Why are Brett and Thirsty... They're fighting over... Wait, what are you guys fighting about? Maybe we should, maybe we should moderate. I kind of want to hear about this.
Focused on actually looking up
Maybe in between the segments, we'll moderate Brett versus Thirsty if you want.
dream. And so, for example, we recently brought a
That'd be funny.
lawsuit for a private equity roll-up and the anesthesiology market.
There's a lot of people in private equity that are now worried about you. They weren't before.
And as part of that, we named not just U.S.
Voice docs myself. No! Lame. Whatever.
anesthesiology partners,
missing
but
out
also
if
the
you're not
private
on
equity firm
Discord.
Welch Carson that we believe had orchestrated the whole scheme. And so you want clear
Discord's great.
People laugh about voice doxing, but someone who I worked with has literally recognized me from my voice from this channel once. A couple years ago. I literally got caught. It was terrible. Imagine waking up on a Monday morning and some motherfucker at work sends you a screenshot of you as like a little bug guy and goes, "This you?" It was a bad morning. That was a bad morning.
Especially because it was the ugly bug.
It was the ugly bug, yeah, that was funny. Voice docs is real, okay?
rules. You want to be, holding not just the low-level people accountable, but also the folks at the top. That also includes individual CEOs, which we've done as well.
But what do you feel? I'm just curious as a human.
Oh, as a human, do you feel any empathy for the businesses that you are? She is the boogeyman. She's literally the boogeyman for CEOs. She's so cool.
Brought these cases, and there's a number of them that you've lost, big ones.
Oh, here
I'm
we
talking
go.
about Microsoft Activision. I'm talking about the Meta, the Meta deal. Do you, on a day like that, do you say to yourself, we shouldn't have done?
So, although she lost first of all, losing basically means that the courts in America didn't go her way, and obviously the courts are stacked in favor of big business. So, losing is kind of like a dumb way to put it in some respects, because ultimately the deck is so stacked towards big business in every respect that it kind of doesn't make sense to say that, oh, she failed because she, it might have been impossible, but it was worth doing. If you look at, the Activision Blizzard merger with Microsoft, it's insane! It's insane that, 3 years after these two megacorps joined, Microsoft was like, you know what we should do? Let's turn this fucked marriage into a fucked polycule. Jesus Christ, this is disgusting. Look at this. Horrific.
Activision Blizzard is a horrendous company.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
The working conditions are a hellscape.
Yeah, it's made everything horrible. They literally oh god, we should get into the game.
Hey, from what it sounds like, and it's not even hyperbole to just say it's a factory based with the backbone of abusing women.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it is.
There's
essentially
been so many sexual abuse scandals.
Well, how
there,
do you?
And it's also a factory farm.
How do you get nerds to agree to working conditions that bad? Just let them rape women. Easiest sell in the world.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's
so horrible.
It's the bosses. It's the bosses doing it.
No, actually,
that's what's crazy about it.
It went all the way down. Actually, it was entire offices were being incredibly abusive. Yeah. It was just a way for them to continue to be shit heel gamers. It was awful.
Dear God, they make shit games as well.
Yeah, they're not even good. I wonder why. Maybe because it's a fucking factory. It's a. Do I need to dial back the number of times I say rape per stream?
Probably.
Because I was gonna say rape factory.
You have been going a bit hard with it.
I have been going a bit hard. The hard R rape. What's the nicer version of rape?
Molest.
Molest. There you go. Thank you. Yes, a molestation factory. Thank you.
Harass is the correct word.
Harassment factory. A molestation factory is funnier. All right.
Why did you say it like mollusk?
Because I'm a mollusk.
Mo.
What? Mo?
Molest.
Molest. No, molestation. Molest. Yes, Scottish fuck. I speak the royal English.
Hyperbole? Did I say hyperbole? Did I say
I said
hyperbole?
no. Someone's making fun of me for saying hyperbole because I say hyperbolic instead of hyperbolic. No, you're supposed to say you're supposed to say hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole and hyperbolic, but I like to say hyperbole because it sounds cool. I'm in the hyperbole. No.
I'm hitting the hyperbole in your way. Apparently, I said hyperbole.
Oh really?
What was the sentence?
You probably got it from me because I'm the only person I know that says it wrong in that way, and people make fun of me all the
Hyperbolic?
time.
Is that what I said? Hyperbolic?
Every time I say hyperbole, I said hyperbole once on Lone Box's stream, and everyone made fun of me for like 3 minutes afterwards during the debate. It was good. I like saying hyperbolic. Hyperbolic and hyperbole is funny. Hyperbole.
Is that
it's
what
hyperbole.
I'm supposed to say? Hyperbolic? Is that hyperbolic?
Hyperbolic?
I still say it correctly. I just don't put. I put the emphasis in a different place. I'm still saying all the letters.
It's the Super Bowl, but bigger. It's the Hyperbole. All right. Anyway, a couple of minor wins here. It's still shit, but Sony was like, I'm left out of the polycule. What the fuck? And they complained that Microsoft would make their lucrative Call of Duty franchise exclusive to the Xbox platform. So Microsoft committed to non-exclusivity for 10 years. It's like, okay, for 10 years we won't fuck you. This is how all monopolies work, by the way. All monopolies are just like, yeah, we'll be good for 10 years and then everything's gonna go out the fucking window. Microsoft also offered to offload its cloud gaming support for Activision Blizzard's games for 10 years to Ubisoft. So I think this is why Ubisoft ended up with a bunch of cloud gaming shit.
Jesus.
That was weird. It was really ugly and strange.
Speaking of hyperbole, I just realized I've lost my copy of Hyperion by Dan Simmons. I knew I was missing books. I've lost all my Game of Thrones books, and I've lost my copy of Hyperion.
How'd you lose a book? How'd you lose a book?
I don't know. But it suddenly made me realize I've lost probably like a whole box of books.
Oh, weird. What, in the move?
I knew I was missing. I fucking knew it. That's all I needed. That was the synaptic connection.
I lost some roller skates in my move recently. I don't know how that happened. Made no sense.
Fucking roller skates. Everyone in London roller skates. I don't know.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's because all the girls who do it are hot.
Someone as a work leaving present, I bought them roller skates once.
Oh, weird.
They're like overjoyed. It's like London's version of rock climbing.
No, we also rock climb. We roller skate to the rock climbing center.
Jesus Christ.
We should have done that. We missed something. What do you think?
Look, whenever we bring a case, we want to win it. And we only bring it because we believe the facts and the law are on our side and that we should win it. Of course, when we have setbacks, we're disappointed. We look at those cases closely. We try to figure out what went wrong. What could we have done better? If we believe that the court made, errors, then we have the opportunity to appeal. The big picture, we are quite pleased with our efforts, right? So we have filed overall 11 lawsuits against mergers. In 5 instances, the companies abandoned outright. In a whole set of other instances, the company settled. And we had 2 losses, one of which is currently on appeal. Separate from that, there were 14 deals that were...
Her win rate is fucking sick. 11 lawsuits, 5 abandoned the merger. Holy shit, even that's enough. That's great. Mergers don't get abandoned like that. That doesn't happen anymore. Like, this is the first time this has started happening again in fucking decades.
Probably wasn't worth the litigation.
Well, yeah. Well, they were like, "Oh shit, the eye of Sauron is on us. Let's get away."
The merger was beneficial in the short term, like they just needed to immediately do it. But because she protested it, the litigation would take long enough. The merger wouldn't be as like short term profitable. No, I think it's worse than that. I think they probably did an illegal merger. I think they were like, yeah, let's just get this merger. Like, we'll have a monopoly, it'll be great. And normally that would be fine, because over the last 50 years, no one's given a shit about any merger, so you can literally just do fully illegal mergers, and there's not going to be enough scrutiny for you to, like, get fucked. But then, as soon as the Eye of Sauron, like, moves over you, go, we can't do this anymore, guys, wind it down! Like, that suggests to me that 5 of these mergers were just, like, they knew they were fucking getting away with something scummy, and if they went to court, too much of that would have been revealed and probably would have got them in more trouble. And then the others were lost because they were legit mergers, but still shouldn't have been happening. Like, they weren't bad enough that no one would go to prison. And I guess the ones, Smugbug DGG merger when? Absolutely not. Never. They can merge into us, but we will never merge into them, okay? If we're merging anyone, it's President Sunday.
True. We have far greater growth.
started investigating and before we had the chance to actually file a lawsuit. So big picture, of course, the 2 cases that we lost, we would have wanted to win, but we're quite pleased overall with our
But
efforts.
fair to say that you have a much more aggressive approach to antitrust than has been historically the case. I mean, you are approaching this in a way that most people that were in your seat before did not. And people are looking at this
Yeah, they were
and they're saying to
pussies.
themselves, you know, what does it mean? What does it mean for business? What does it mean for deal making? Is she right? Are the courts
Stop
all going
breaking
to
the law,
ultimately decide that
scum!
actually she's not right? By the way, if they do that, would you change your? If you started losing more cases, do you say I'm not going to bring the next case? Do you sit and play the odds before you bring the case? Lawyers in the room probably get asked, what do you think that, before bringing a case, any kind of case, they say, what's the chance we're going to win? Is there a number that you say to yourself, it's got to be 70%, otherwise I'm not going to do it?
Well, look, it's very fact specific. It's very case specific. It's also dependent on resources. I mean, we're a fairly small agency, all things considered, around 1,200 people. And so we match out the capacity. And so
what? The FTC has 1,000 people for a country of 300 million? So when the FTC goes to war with a company, they are the size of, oh my god, my business is bigger than the FTC. What the fuck? Dude, they're going to war with businesses. What? Well, dude, they are fighting businesses. How many employees does Microsoft have?
Like more than like 10.
Bro! They have a 1 to 200. They are outnumbered 1 to 228. What the fuck? She might be the coolest person in the world. Holy fuck, dude! In the United States alone, she's outnumbered 100 to 1.
Think about it. This is a legal team that's like 1,000 people strong. What company has a 1,000 person strong legal team?
No. Obviously, I know that, but then this is not just about that. It's about the resources. It's about the holy shit. Like, do you not think that Microsoft is hiring like 100 lawyers, like a fucking?
It's
consultancy?
like yeah, they could. But even if you just like randomly hire 100 lawyers, they're not going to be good as a legal team that works every day together. Like, it might seem like a low number, but they've absolutely got the advantage. Because their goal is so clear. They're qualified. They work together every single day. They are a unified task.
But they're not unified. There's incredible dissent within the ranks. They're not unified in the FTC at all.
I'm sure, but they're the same body.
Yeah, but half the FTC opposes the current leadership because the job used to be easier. Now she's actually trying. Like, they've never had to try before. That's crazy. Yeah. The FTC has 1,000 lawyers paid in the middle of their range, and they have to regulate thousands of companies who each have highly paid teams. The best lawyers in the world do not go to work for the FTC. It's incredibly rare. Do you know how rare it is, Wiz? When one of the best lawyers in the world, which I now believe, wrote a fucking antitrust legal argument, she was made head of the fucking FTC at age 34. That's how few incredible lawyers there are.
Crazy.
They made a child head of the FTC because she wrote a good article. How? First of all, based as fuck from her, based as fuck from the Biden administration. But that's how few gigachads there are in the legal profession willing to fight corporations. Fucking hell.
I love it.
So we have to.
Why is Mina a hat? Because she's comfy and she's nibbling through my frontal cortex.
Not a hat. That's actually Mina.
She's plucking neurons.
Pick our battles pretty carefully. With M&A, of course, it's also a fluid environment. And so you don't know when you're deciding today what lawsuits to bring, what proposed deals may come down the pipe in 2 weeks, in a month, in 2 months. And so the decision making there can be quite dynamic. Just to zoom.
Oh no. Yeah, I think Mina started with the pain center of my brain because I feel nothing now. That's probably not good. Oh well. I need that breathe easy thing.
Out in terms of the current antitrust environment, this is not happening in a vacuum, right? In June 2021, President Biden signed an executive order where he said, unfortunately, for the last few decades, competition has been declining across the American economy, be it in our airline sector, be it in our telecom sector. Really, excessive consolidation and concentration now looks to be a systemic feature of our economy rather than isolated. And after saying that, he charged both the FTC, the DOJ, but really agencies across the board with reinvigorating our competition tools and making sure that consumers
Oh my god. I love the Biden administration so much, dude. I love him so much. God. Some of the people he brought in, especially her, but a lot of people, holy fuck, they're so cool. God damn. That really, I hope that Harris doesn't go backwards. God, I really hope that doesn't go backwards. Harris might be... I think Biden was almost able to get away with a more left-wing government because he was an old white guy who didn't have a historical, heavy socialist bent, or maybe because he was insane. I hope that Harris, like, is more left-wing than Biden, because some indications that it's there. Why are you using my
They know
account?
until they're in office.
That's true, yeah.
Brother, how do you think invites get out?
Workers, businesses, innovation, our democracy are all better positioned once we have more competition.
How much do you think that you have to be a
Also, if
crystal
you've
ball?
only just noticed that, I'd be worried.
What? Notice what?
Nothing.
Alright.
Sort of looking down what's going to happen, and how much do you worry that you'll be wrong?
Oh.
So it's a really good question, and there's no doubt that the merger enforcement part of our work is intrinsically predictive, right? The law anticipates that, and they say that the responsibility and obligation on the FTC is not to predict with total certainty what's going to happen. We deal in probabilities, not certainties. And so what we're engaged in is a risk assessment. If this deal goes through, what's the likelihood that it may substantially lessen competition or tend to create a monopoly? And so we look at the evidence.
Oh my god, dude! She's so... How often do you see people talk this well about what they're doing, dude? When's the last time we had someone on screen who just spoke about the thing they do competently and succinctly? Holy fuck! Oh my god, she's perfect. I love her. I have fallen in love with her. I'm going to marry Lina Khan, head of the FTC. I am going to marry the FTC commissioner. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I'm gonna marry Lina Khan! I'm making it happen. I'm making it happen. She's incredible.
Evidence, right? We look at the documents. Are the company's documents showing that right now they're actually competing head to head with this firm?
Someone in America send a letter to the FTC with this clip on a linked plain text on a piece of paper. Link her to the snail that says that he's in love with her, please. Someone, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. She needs to know. She needs to know.
Firm, be it on lower end prices or fighting for the same talent pool or investing in R&D. We talked to other market participants.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry? I'm sorry? What's that? Wait, no, no, no! No, it can't be true. It's not true, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. Why would it be true? It can be true.
Zoom in here.
No,
We're gonna have to zoom in here.
No, that can't be true at all. They can, no.
Have a little zoom in here.
No! Is that the left hand? No!
That's her. Yeah, that's her left hand.
No!
Unless the camera's flipped. Check the other hand. Check the other hand. Check the other hand.
Fuck! She's double married. She's already got a polycule. No! She might be in an open relationship. Wait, she's anti-merger. She's anti-merger. She would never want competition. She's pro-competition. I can compete with her husband. Yes, I'm safe. It's possible. All things are possible. Okay. No, it's good. It's not over. It's still worth watching.
Technically, you'd be a monopoly
customer...
because you've already got several partners.
Yeah, but I'm not excluding other people. If I would be a monopoly if I was a polygamist.
She's gonna break you up, dude.
Oh fuck.
She's anti-poly.
That would only be if I had a monopoly on all the girls, which I don't because they're also poly, right?
I know, but you're increasing the price for other males.
Yeah, they should just have gotten to market faster. I call that first mover advantage.
And we also think about not just competition today, but competition in the future. Where is this market going? And we've seen in areas like platforms, the direct threat is not coming from an exact replica, but Microsoft was threatened by Netscape in the middleware companies. And so you need to also have a sense of where is the market going.
One of the reasons I wanted to ask you this, and I'm going to bring something up that you're probably not going to love. I don't even know if you're going to remember this. This goes to the crystal ball issue, though. And it really is an interesting thing because regulators do have to decide what they think is about to happen, right?
Okay.
So several years ago, and we just had David Zaslav here.
Oh, no! Oh, no! This is going to be about her Starbucks paper. No.
Time Warner, or I should say AT&T was going to merge Time Warner and AT&T together. In fact, Macon Delrahim up there was at the DOJ at the time, and when the judge lost, or when he lost the case effectively, and the deal was allowed to go through, you said the following.
Oh no! Are you really sorry? When was this? Isn't this 10 years ago?
I might have been in school when that happened.
2016. This is like 8 years ago. So, oh my god, do you see how pro-business these fucks are? They're literally like, hey, so 8 years ago you made a prediction and it was wrong. Like, okay, I appreciate holding people to account when it comes to their prediction. Well, let's see what the prediction was.
You said the DOJ should appeal the decision and ask the DC Circuit to overturn Judge Leon's misguided opinion. This is when you were at Open Markets. You said with Time Warner's must-have content, including March Madness at HBO, AT&T will be able to hobble rival content distributors and dictate the terms on which competitors can participate in the market. Furthermore, the merger creates an effective duopoly in distribution between AT&T and Comcast.
Okay.
AT&T will be able to use Time Warner's programming as a weapon to defend its business model, stifle existing competition and existing threats, and steer the trajectory of the industry.
Okay, I know about this. Okay, if I remember correctly, the reason that this didn't happen is because Time Warner might be one of the most catastrophically mismanaged companies in the world. So I think what she was doing, she was predicting the monopoly potential, but she couldn't have predicted how intensely incompetent they were. It takes skill to pull off a monopoly, and they failed. But it was due to incompetence. It wasn't due to the fact that the monopoly wasn't possible or likely to happen. It's just that they were so bad at doing their jobs of doing capitalism that they failed to establish the monopoly.
I bring you this because I think we all now know AT&T is a complete mess. AT&T.
Yeah, it's not about the monopoly, retard. It's because they're bad at managing companies. I was so right.
T-Mobile is now the largest.
I know everything, Wiz. I know everything. I get everything right every time. How do you explain this?
You pre-watching.
It's the pre-watching that does it, isn't it?
It's cheating. He cheats,
It's
Jack.
because well,
He
listen,
cheats every time he
I'm
cheats.
I'm anti-authenticity, okay? I will stand here and I will defend pre-watching because ultimately I know what you little fucking freaks want. You just want the streamer to say something that's gonna happen, and then the thing happens, and then a little brain trigger happens, a little dopamine rush, and you go, that's my streamer. My streamer got it right. And then you all clap and go, wow, he's so predicty. And I lie because I watched all of this beforehand. I spend that much time preparing for stream. Absolutely.
Because really, chat knows that my observations are the clever ones because they're on the fly.
If they were on the fly, then you would eat them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Got him! Oh, God, Jesus.
Delicious.
Disgusting. You just licked my eye. Bro. Disgusting. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, did we get raided?
God, I fucking hope not. We're talking about my wife. My future wife. You can't raid us now. I'm wifing too hard. Daddy Lona raided. Hello, father! Hello! We've been saying nothing but good things about you. Hey, look, guys, actual real politics that are happening right now in your real face. We're not doing drama at all.
Join the Discord!
Join the Discord. We're doing...
Like the stream!
Lina Khan, my wife.
We did a whole thing. There was a whole thing where I drank all the pond water or something. So we've got a fund below me to raise water for the pond because we're going to die otherwise because we're little animals.
If you keep donating, he'll keep saying water in that funny Scottish way.
Wait, that's how you say water.
Water.
Sorry, it's water. I can't fucking stray from Family Guy.
Okay, anyway, we're talking about Lina Khan, who is the head of the FTC, with whom I am in love with. I'm gooning for the FTC, yes, I love her so much. She's so cool. Scottish history father sent me here. Wonderful. Well, it's time
I'm the
for
Scottish
modern
history father. He doesn't say anything about Scottish history.
Does he not? Does he not? Does he not? Anyway, so Lina Khan...
Unless he was talking about Scottish history, then I'd be
Let me explain the segment, Wiz! We have new people who've arrived! Right, Lina Khan is the head of the FTC. She's breaking up big business in America, which you guys... Oh, hold on, how do I make this Israel-Palestine? Oh, yeah. Which includes, probably, the military-industrial complex, so they'll stop dropping bombs on all those brown people that you like. Either or. There you go. See, that worked.
Yeah, they're gonna use Beyblades in the Gaza Strip.
We're dropping Beyblades in the Gaza Strip. That's on you. That's on you. It's better than pagers because they only hit the target.
It's
Don't
more
bring us up-
ethical because they're fun.
Oh, now I'm interested. See, I know how to enjoy. I know how to get the IP people on board. All right.
Do you think the pager bombs would have been more ethical if they told a funny little joke before they exploded?
Depends on the joke.
Or like a fortune cookie?
If it
Like,
just
give
said,
you a
like-
beep, it'd be like, gotcha.
If it was like knock knock, who's there, and you like pick it up, and you're like, who?
Ring ring.
Shrapnel. It's just eye shrapnel. The pager bombs were funny. I won't lie. I know I debated Loner
Or,
Box.
now
on
you
it, but-
see me.
Yeah, the page just says Shabbat Shalom, and then
Yeah.
well, there was that meme. There was that meme where the pager ringtone was like the ha da 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 da. And then that was good.
Honestly, that would make it substantially more ethical, I think, if it was at least a funny joke.
yeah. First T is right. Hold on. The bombs were aided by monopoly consolidation. Hezbollah had to source their pagers from one supplier. If there was more competition and Hezbollah had to source from multiple companies, they wouldn't have blown up. Monopolies destroyed Hezbollah. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my God.
Now all the
The
pro-Palestinians.
villain was capitalism. That's right.
the-
We're a Hassan stream.
Oh shit! Wait. So all the people who that's great because now we're anti-capitalist, which means that the lefties like us. But no, wait. I'm confused. Wait. So the Israelis are pro-capitalism. That makes sense. The Jews love capitalism because of all of the
Like the stream and donate before you leave.
No, but yeah. Could all the Jews please donate and subscribe before leaving this stream? Don't worry, we love you very much. Okay. The reason Jews love capitalism is because it's a meritocracy, and so they can rise to the top based on their own merit rather than being discriminated against for being part of a oppressed diaspora. See, I can play both sides.
That's true. Play the video.
All right.
Largest
Anyway, this is an interview between a business-focused journalist and Lina Khan, someone who is anti-business, and he is doing some shit. Let's do the prediction thing again.
the judge lost, or when he lost the case effectively, and the deal was allowed to go through. You said the following. You said the DOJ should appeal the decision and ask the D.C. Circuit to overturn Judge Leon's misguided opinion. This is when you were at Open Markets. You said with Time Warner's must-have content, including March Madness at HBO, AT&T will be able to hobble rival.
So they're talking about the AT&T and Time Warner merger from like 2016.
Content distributors.
I would have
dictate
never
the
guessed
terms
that from the
on
fact
which
that they just said
competitors can
HBO and
I'm
AT&T.
explaining. I don't think you understand how presentation works. With sometimes you have
Stop
to reiterate.
pausing.
market.
Play.
Stop interrupting!
It's an effective duopoly in distribution between AT&T and Comcast. AT&T will be able to use Time Warner's programming as a weapon to defend its business model, stifle existing competition and existing threats, and steer the trajectory of the industry. I bring you this because I think we all now know AT&T is a complete mess. T-Mobile is now the largest telephone provider in the country. David Zaslav's job is as challenging as ever now. That is a challenged business. The entire thing was a challenged business. Now, maybe you weren't supposed to know that at the time. I don't know. But I bring this to you because
Fuck you,
I'm curious
guy.
how you think about that, just as a sort of thought experiment.
Yeah, it's a good question. And of course, when you're an academic
Look
or an
at that.
outside researcher, you don't have access to the same information as an enforcer. Big picture, there is a fundamental question in
Is the
antitrust
frog a real
enforcement,
wizard?
which is when faced
Absolutely.
with uncertainty.
No,
Look,
don't.
I got a
please.
little magic wand.
No! Stop! Put me down! Put me down! Put me down!
That's what I thought.
Oh fuck! Ow! Fuck, dude. We said that there would be a warning next time if you demonstrate it. Jesus Christ!
Nah.
Can
I
you
told
not pull?
Mina, she consented.
Can you not pull me up by my shell or something? Why do you always go for the throat? Ugh.
It's
That's
fine.
unnecessary.
Don't bitch about it. If you want to become a frog, you can join Frog Tier if you press
No,
join.
please. Every time you donate, I get hit in the face with the magic scroll, and it chokes me. I don't
Also,
like
if you
it.
join Axolotl Tier, you can become a little hat like Mina. Look,
Yeah, you become a hat. You get turned into a
look,
marketable
little Mina.
plushie.
Look, little Mina.
You become a marketable
Little Mina's on his
plushie.
head. Look.
Why can't these guys stop yelling? Yeah, so listen, I'm not gonna lie, there's some severe discrepancies between the Loner Box content and the Pond Scum content that might be insurpassable
Yeah.
for
The
Yeah, you-
discrepancy is jokes.
you. And screaming. To be fair, you pay for the jokes with the screaming.
Yeah. Why did Loaderbox not do a pager bit, huh?
True.
Pager's telling jokes bit.
Yeah, true. Well, because he, well,
How do you balance the error costs, right? Is it better if you might get it
Ow!
wrong? Is it better to get it wrong in the direction of acting?
Oh,
oh no. Oh, Mina, no,
Whoa.
Mina, no, Mina, no, why?
what? You don't have to eat it every time.
It flies into my mouth!
Yeah,
Awful.
yeah. Loner didn't get the pager. You're right, Maritza.
Yeah, true.
Or is it better to get it wrong in the direction of not having acted? And for several decades, there had been the view that it was better to err on the side of being hands-off.
Right.
The view being that even if you were to have monopoly power, that monopoly power would be dissipated by entry, by market forces, and whereas it would be difficult to undo or fix the harms of an erroneous government decision. I think we're at a stage where we realize that inaction, that bias in favor of inaction,
Why does it go
does
off
it play
twice?
twice?
I don't know.
has had
are you
enormous
done?
costs.
Nothing. It just
It's like
happens sometimes.
bookended.
It is, yeah.
Right, across our economy. And so
wonder
that's
why.
why you're seeing this rebalance that's going on right now to make sure that we're not, following that course and erring on the side of not acting.
What about, I want to talk about Amazon, because that was actually about what your paper was originally about, and now you brought the case, effectively. And it's one of the first cases where you have a company that ostensibly has provided lower prices. I say ostensibly because you don't believe that they have, ultimately. But that the Prime membership program and everything else is effectively a monopoly.
Do not
power.
send us pager
They
donos.
look at this and say,
No,
we're-
please.
We're a retailer.
Do not. Wait, that would actually be a really good donation sound, is the beep 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 explosion. That would be funny. That's a banging.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should invest.
That's a great idea. Fuck yeah. Okay, hold on. I'll go on Amazon right
Let's
now.
talk to
buy-
Israel. Let's see if they can
I'm
hit
gonna buy some Gold Apollo pages right now.
And in the context of retail, they would say we're 4% of retail or 7% of retail, and retail is this big thing. You were defining it in the context of your case
What?
simply among this idea of sort of super retailers, right? And there's probably only one or two or three in that category at all, maybe one, actually. And so I'm curious how you think about, part of it is about market size and constructing that size and then the market power that you have in that size.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the core parts of antitrust analysis is how you're defining
Wait, I'm sorry, but
Simulate the taste and texture of turtle. They stopped making it in 1960. Thanks. But
Is that spiders?
that's probably Lona Unbox. That's probably him, isn't it?
Yeah, that's spiders.
That's
good
funny.
job, spiders.
Good job, Spider. That's a banger. I love
Thumbs
the
up. Thumbs up.
thanks.
explosion's great.
But
It's so legit. Oh, that's fucking good. Well done. Very nice.
Go subscribe to Spider. Loner
Yeah.
Unboxed.
Lona Unboxed. Go check it out. After subscribing to us, you fucking cretins. All right, we're nearly at 1,000. Do you know what happens when we hit
Put it in the
1,000?
chat. Put it in the chat. Put it in the
Yeah.
chat. Put the link in the chat. Go
I'm
on.
not gonna do
Go
it.
on.
You do it.
Credit.
the relevant market.
I don't
Oscar,
have
you
the
do
link.
it.
You
Millions
have
of
the link.
dollars get spent
Oscar,
on
do
this
it.
particular
Load
part of
unbox.
the fight, and oftentimes antitrust cases, fall and rise based on whether you win on market definition. In the complaint, we lay out why we believe that the online superstore market is the right way to look at this. We point to, factors like depth.
Who
and
are these
quality,
guys?
range of-
I'm Wiz. That's Smug. And this is
The
something
Pond
Cam.
Scum podcast. Yeah, I thought you were gonna set up a whole thing. Try again.
What's her name? Kamala Khan.
No, so you say I'm Wiz, and then I say I'm Smug, and then we go, and we are the Pond Scum
we got a whole theme
podcast.
tune. You're
Da-
watching the Wiz and
Da-
Smug show.
da- da- da-
It's called the Pod Scum Podcast.
da-
It's
da- da-
on every
da- da-
Monday
da-
at 7
da- da-
p.m. GMT. But
da- da- da-
you're watching it.
da- da-
It's
da- da-
good sometimes. Sometimes it's not so good.
No,
but
it's pretty good most of the time.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty
And
good.
we think you should like and subscribe and donate.
and hype us.
We're working on it. I'm workshopping
Use the
it.
new thing. It's use the thing. Yeah. It's democratic. We're feeding.
What is the blue gray
focus
thing?
group.
That's what I've been saying, because I don't think he's a snail either.
What? I'm a snail. Hold on, let me get rid of the hat.
You don't look like any snail I've ever seen in my entire life. What is that?
Look, I've got a little snaily. I'm a little snaily guy. Look.
It's the furthest thing from a snail.
No, I'm a snail. Sometimes I wear funny hats. Look. Oh, sorry. This is my pro-Israel hat. So I mean my anti-Israel hat. Sorry.
Yeah, that's your watching Lonerbox hat.
There you go.
That's your watching Vosh hat.
This is my Vosh hat.
No, yeah, that's the Vosh hat. The
No,
blue's
this is
the
no,
Destiny hat.
this is the Destiny hat because I'm the yeah no Duma is Vosh, and then this is Destiny for sure because they all think that they're fucking. Oh, I've got a gun as well. I have a baseball bat. I bonk things. That's the show. That's the show, guys.
Hello.
That's the show. Please like the stream. There's enough of you to like the stream. I know you're all poor from donating money to the war effort on your various sides, but you know what's free? Liking the stream. If you press the like button, that helps us out a lot. We're small creators, and we need to do better. Please like the stream. I'm gonna go down and press the like button right now. Whoop! Press it with me, guys.
He's a warrior.
Press it with me, guys. We're doing a Draw Explorer thing. Press it with me. Can you press the like button? The like button?
Can you press the play button on the video?
Can you say subscribe?
Can you say play the fucking video?
All right, fine. Fuck you.
Selection that we believe set online superstores apart from the other stores. We also rely on not just what's known as indirect evidence, where you're drawing the market and calculating the shares, but also what's known as direct evidence of monopoly power. And so this is when you're looking at the company's behavior, right? If you have a monopoly, one sign of that can be, I should be clear, if you have a monopoly that's managed to insulate itself from competition, one sign of that can be that the monopoly is able to harm its customers with impunity.
Ooh,
and we lay out in the complaint a whole set of evidence that suggests Amazon has been able to do just that. It's been able to do that, we allege, with the set of customers on the seller side. So it has raised the fees.
Yes, thank you. This is what I was talking about. The Amazon Basics stealing shit. Yeah, raising the fees on the business side. Like, oh my god, yes. Harming this is the thing. Platform capitalists, their biggest consumer is often going to be the fucking seller. It's like the way that Subway managed their franchises, where they made more money from the fucking franchisees than from Subway. Actually, like, a lot of franchisees lost money, but Subway always made money. Like, Amazon's the same way. Whether you succeed or fail on their platform, they make money. It's crazy.
Yeah, Subway's crazy now. Have you seen how hard it's flopping?
Yeah, weirdly enough,
it's only 15 grand to open a franchise now.
I went on a date with a high-ranking member of high-ranking ex-member of the Subway Corporation. Can you believe that? She worked there for like 2 years, and I literally spent the entire date just talking to her about like all of the inner workings of Subway. It was fascinating. Put me back on your head.
So how much sawdust do you put in the bread? Put me in the bread.
Yeah, you're right. Whoop! It's a funny little hat. I love her. It's so cute. Tee-hee! I got a little hedgehog. Little hedgehog hat. Hat hog.
Charges these sellers.
My hat has a hat! My hat has a hat, Wiz! We haven't acknowledged this. My hat has a hat! It's incredible.
Oh, wait, Mina is a hat.
Was she hot? She was definitely a sub. Sorry.
It now on average takes close to 50% of the cut, so $1 out of every $2. It's also steadily been degrading the shopping experience by flooding its search page with ads. Sometimes they're relevant, but as our complaint found, they actually also have been jacking up what are basically junk ads, irrelevant ads. And so we lay out in the complaint a portrait of we believe a company that has, through anti-competitive practices, shielded itself off from competition and is now exploiting that power through hurting customers.
People's own ability, and you'd think on the internet you'd be able to put
oh my god, consumers are smart enough to avoid your billion-dollar monopoly. Fuck you, asshole.
Often find whatever you want. I mean,
fuck you.
Prime, by the way?
I don't.
You don't subscribe to Prime?
I do not.
Interesting. Why?
Based. I love her.
I mean, look, this is not an area where I
love waiting
their
5 to 6 days
need to
for my
stand up,
pens.
but I haven't.
No, the reason I
love her. I love her.
I happen to be a Prime subscriber.
Oh my god, do you see this shit? Oh my god! Oh, he makes me so angry. He's literally like, let's see if I can get the hypocrisy angle. Are you using the monopolies that you are breaking up? And she's like, yeah, no. He's like, well, I use Prime. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. I fucking hate him.
Subscriber. By the way, the experience thus far seems good to me, but who am I to say?
What?
Also,
in contradiction to your entire position as someone who breaks up monopolies, I have personally purchased this product from that monopoly one time, and I liked the product. That's it. That's what you've got. Aren't you a fucking journalist? Kill yourself, dude. Holy fuck. Oh my god. This guy deserves to be dropped into the fucking Amazon. Fend for himself, naked. If he survives a week, we'll bring him back out of there. Fucking hell, I hate this guy.
Do you know what's crazy? Just because the way logistics are in the UK, at least, most services offer a next day delivery option. You don't really need Amazon Prime anymore.
Yeah. We've got, well, that's because, do you know why? It's because we've got a stronger postal service than the US. We've got a much more competently run postal service. At least until, I mean, eventually I'm sure that there'll be enough fucked there to ruin everything. Kamala Khan? Kamala Khan is her war name. Oh no.
What's this?
Oh! Thanks for
Whoa,
subscribing,
thanks for
Molly's
subscribing.
boy 79. We appreciate it. Thank you. That's
Jesus Christ, you don't have to swallow them every time.
They fly in my mouth. What am I supposed to do? Close my mouth?
Yeah, just let them bounce off your face. You don't
That
have
would
to eat
require that I stop talking. Doesn't seem feasible.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think that if I wanted to see other prices or wanted to go
So how likely is it that she'll actually be fired under Kamala? From what I'm seeing, quite likely. But that'll be the final piece to this. We'll finish this video and then we'll look at the current controversy.
to another site, I could do that remarkably easily. I mean, I don't even have to walk outside to do it.
And Galactus is still not an X-Men villain. Don't you fucking dare. No, shut the fuck up. I was right. Fuck
It's
you.
a very interesting thing to think that
We
they
did a
have
fact
this
check. He
quote-unquote
was wrong.
monopoly power over
Why would you bait me like this? Oh no, it did the thing. Why would you bait me like this when
That's
you know
just the
what
bookend.
you want to move? You want to. Oh my god, you want to move on and then you lie. Why would you lie if you want to move on?
Can
You
you
can't
play the
help
video?
it.
Can you stop getting distracted?
Stop fucking distracting me then. I was right about Galactus.
all of these consumers
You
who were
weren't.
chosen
I was.
Very
hopefully
wrong.
through their own
Kill
free
you.
will to become Prime subscribers. No?
Yeah, I mean, look, this was, an argument that we've heard in other
Royal Mail is way worse than is known, like Thames Water. But yeah, because they got fucked by the Tories for 10 years. Shut up.
contexts as well.
Duh.
Google famously has argued that competition is just a click away,
Whoa.
and certainly
Okay, I'm gonna.
Thanks, Cradling.
Okay. there
Don't
we go.
abuse this. Please
Wait,
don't
wait,
abuse
wait.
this.
Whoa! What? They're not abusing it. They're subscribing.
Stop feeding him. Don't give
Those are
him to his feeding thing.
I'm becoming more powerful. I can absorb the donations. Every time they donate, I merely get larger. Soon I will crush the
in the
frog.
early 2000s, there
Oh my god.
was a view that there are very few switching costs,
Oh, I know
that,
why that
all you have to
happens.
do is type a different website address, and that means that you're not really going to see monopoly power in the digital age. I think 2 decades on, we've seen that is flatly untrue.
I think it's this. Yeah. What? Oh no. Oh no, Mina's getting larger. Shit. She's gonna become her own entity. She'll leave the host withered and sucked dry, and then become the real the. No. No. Did I? That's not possible. Is the audio gone, guys? Maybe I did. That can't be right. Did I see? There is no audio? Oh my god, I did. Incredible.
Me?
It's
This
perfect.
is
It's
amazing.
perfect.
Actually,
Okay, there we go.
we can't hear
No.
what is in the video. Fuck.
Yeah, no, it was
Did it
I
work
was
there?
the only thing that
What did you do?
I
Why
fixed
did
it.
you
I fixed
just
it.
mute the
I
whole
was trying it because that used to work. I don't want to talk about it. It's fine. It works now.
That companies can keep you in that ecosystem in ways that make it
We're seeing,
especially important
Mina's
that
getting more
you're,
powerful.
promoting competition and preventing lock-in.
We had a number of media company CEOs who just met Bob Iger, and there's a big question about whether there should be deals allowed. I just mentioned a deal in the past that was allowed, and here we are now. There's been a lot of those companies that are waiting, thinking, what's going to happen with this election? Are you still going to be in this role next year?
Oh, here we go. He's talking about the elephant in the room. Is she going to be? I'm too big. She's talking about whether he's talking about whether she's going to be kept on by the Harris administration.
What do you think of the media landscape right now? And what do you think also of CEOs who are saying, maybe I should wait, maybe I shouldn't wait, maybe I should try to wait, or maybe you're going to take me to court now, but in a couple of years from now, you're not going to be in this role anyway.
Oh, look at this smug prick! He licks his lips. He's a fucking vampire.
Yeah.
In a couple of years from now, you're not going to be in this role anyway.
Oh, look at that! Look at that disgusting little lip lick. He's a vampire. What a fucking disgusting little zombie creature.
Maybe you won't be there anyway.
Yeah. God, he's so slimy. He's very good. By the way, this guy is excellent at being a piece of shit. He's actually very, very good. He's crafted questions very well. He doesn't look like an idiot who's trying to ask gotcha questions. Like, these are questions that don't feel that good. They feel reasonable for the setting. They're smart, but she's smarter.
So look, our job is to enforce the laws that Congress has charged us with, and so
Listen,
we look
yeah.
at the deals that come in through the door. We have been, doing a reassessment. So we issued this past summer draft merger guidelines that we believe provide the market with a clear sense of what are the tools and analytical frameworks that we at the antitrust agencies are going to be using when these deals come in. And so, that really lays out our approach, and we're going to continue kind of faithfully following it.
There's a big question about whether the laws as they are written today make sense.
Oh, fuck you, dude! Okay, so look, listen. I don't want to be this guy, but I have found the 50-page merger guideline. Once in chat, once in chat,
stream ended.
once in chat, if we read any amount of the merger guidelines, two's in chat.
No,
if we
you
skip
one's in chat before you even said it. Don't even.
two's in chat. If we skip,
I Pavlovian conditioned you to be compliant.
exactly. Can I just?
You didn't know what you were
interesting. Interesting. Look
Only
at the
say
women.
ones if it's me.
Women hate merger guidelines. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. She's spamming. The women hate the merger guidelines. Oh, and Ed, stop reinforcing memes.
Eisen, look, they know.
Okay, all right. I like how
I'm just here to watch a trash fire is a great username and feels very targeted.
That's an awesome username. Fucking hell, I love that. Well, don't worry, the Noah Samson content is coming any moment now. Okay, I honestly wanted to bring this up because the idea of the frog and the snail reviewing the merger guidelines documentation is the funniest thing I could possibly think of. Like, as a screenshot, does this not go really fucking hard?
We're
Isn't this-
intellectuals.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Where's my? There we go. We're intellectuals.
Yeah. Let me hold on. Yeah, I'll point.
Let's
yeah.
solve this mystery.
There we go. Yeah. So
there
hold
we
on.
go. There's my pipe.
Take a screenshot. Okay, all right. Ready? And cheese.
We're going to solve the merger guidelines.
Oh my god, that's such a
Excellent
banger.
work.
That's a cave painting right there. It's beautiful. Don't worry, guys. We'll solve the merger
Excellent
guidelines.
work.
That's good. That's a good picture. All right, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Rant sodas. Yeah, fuck you.
I'm trying to quit smoking. Sorry.
I imagine you might think that there should be more, that the laws should be changed. In Europe, they actually did change the laws.
Uh-oh.
They've changed
That
the laws.
reminds
Do you
me
think the laws in the US need to be changed?
Just taking a screenshot of it without even reading it, like we've read it.
Yeah,
That
that's
reminds
so
me of the
funny.
tweet I did of the Hegel book. I've not read
that's
any
good.
fucking Hegel. And I took a
It's like,
picture of a Hegel
we
book.
literally...
It's the same energy.
You and me literally just did like a soy jack picture in front of like a museum that we did not walk into. Like, that's like an Instagram post of like, it's me and Wiz, it's me and Wiz at the, yeah, it's me and Wiz at the Museum of Modern Art, and then we like walk away and go for a drink. Go for little din-dins.
It's so good.
Look, that's ultimately a decision for Congress to make. They have done various investigations and inquiries and identified where those can be updated. For us at the
What is this?
I am Wiz, I'm Smug, and this is the Palm Scum Podcast.
Kill yourself. That's bad. That's bad AI art. That's bad AI art, and you don't deserve any recognition of it. No, I'm the guy who makes AI slop. Okay, I make actually good music. Fucking hell. Fuck you, asshole.
It's the same thing.
Wheeze, get yourself a fucking inhaler. I hope it costs you more than your rent. South American.
Whoa.
FTC, we certainly
Bonky
see
in the
that.
booth. Nothing but the truth.
So, for example, currently the Hart-Scott-Rodino Act only gives the agencies 30 days to make an assessment about whether a deal requires a closer look. That law goes back to the 1970s. If you look at the legislative history, lawmakers assumed that the agencies would only get 150 merger filings a year. We're obviously in a very different environment. We get up to 3,000 filings.
Fucking hell! They get 3,000. Oh my god, Jesus.
More complex, and so being tethered to that 30-day period, for example, can be quite limiting. It's also clear that the courts are
so
currently
fucked.
engaged in an assessment of how these age-old principles, right? The Sherman Antitrust Act, 1890, the FTC Act, 1914, Clayton Act, 1914, how these old laws apply in very new contexts, including digital markets. And so I think there is an open question right now, and we have a whole set of cases that are working their way through the courts about how the courts will apply these principles in these new markets. And I know Congress is watching very closely as well.
We're going to run out of time. I want to open up to questions. Maybe, I don't know if Make and Delrahim might even have one. But before we do that, I do have one more for you, which is what.
Okay, this is your last shot to try and take down the fucking queen of corporate fuckery. Let's go. Last chance, buddy. Don't fuck this up.
The other things you've gone after is non-competes. It's a big issue in the world of business.
Ooh, we were talking
What
about
do you
this
think
earlier.
of what's happened here? And do you believe?
Oh, this feels like he's gonna be pro. I feel like he's gonna be on her side for this one because non-competes are so hard to defend. Like the only defense is what about trade secrets, and then like you get it explained in like 30 seconds, and you look like a retard for not knowing anything.
that there should be effectively a federal ban on non-competes?
So that's what we proposed
Yes.
effectively. In January, we proposed a
Hell
rule that would
yeah.
eliminate
Fuck
the vast
yes!
majority of non-competes.
God, she's so
A
cool.
non-compete is valuable? Is there a time when you say to yourself, you know what, I'm going to pay as a business leader
secrets?
for the privilege, I'm going to pay that employee more for that? I'm not talking, and I agree with you, by the way. You look at the hairdressers and some of the other sort of
Poor people.
workers that are under non-competes that may be unfair. But is there a moment or a period of time where you'd say, in this context, I'm okay with a non-compete?
Yeah, but that context never happens because the kinds of employees that are that valuable are always the ones that have enough market leverage that they will never sign a non-compete. So it doesn't make any sense. The only people it would actually make sense to apply to are the very people that would never agree to it because they have so much market leverage. Fuck, the fact that they have the ability to go to another company or start their own company is the reason that you're paying them more and that you're trying to get... Oh my god, it doesn't make any fucking sense. He's such an idiot. It's literally circular logic. It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe, and those are some of the questions that we asked. We got 20,000 comments. A whole set of those comments were actually not just from the low-wage, security guard workers or fast food workers, but from doctors, from engineers.
Smugbug, if you're a small business owner selling your business to someone else, that buyer will want a non-compete from the person with all the client relationships. I think non-competes make sense as a business-to-business transaction with some people recognize that. That's different when you're doing like a small acquisition. I totally agree. That's fine. That's totally fine. I'm okay with that. That's the only carve-out the Khan rule had. Okay, yeah, I literally agree with that carve-out. That does literally make sense, yes. That's fine, for like 5 years or whatever. That's totally fine.
From technologists, from journalists, and they shared stories about...
The FTC's rule, which aimed to prohibit employers from using non-compete clauses, was struck down by a federal judge in late August. I'm gonna fucking... We're dropping the Beyblades on America now, Wiz. That's the only option. That's the only option. We have to carpet bomb America in the razor Beyblades. Via Beyblades.
About how oftentimes they're actually not in a position
So
to really
fucked.
bargain with their future employer when they're signing that contract, but also that there can be all sorts of other ramifications, right? And so we're looking at the impact not just on workers, where we assess, that worker wages are down to the tune of up to $300 billion because of these non-competes, but also the effect on competition.
Did Mina resubscribe Axolotl tier by saying crunch, 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 gulp? That's upsetting.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. That's
as a
horrible.
whole, right?
As I
Because
said,
if you
she's
have a
escalated to
worker who's
crunches.
effectively locked
That's
into a
upsetting.
job, that's bad, not just that for that worker, but also for other workers who won't have the
I think she
opportunity
ate
if
my
that job
memory
were
of
ever
it.
to open up. And we've also found that sometimes it's, with higher skilled workers or workers with greater expertise that you might have the greatest prospect for those individuals to go and start their own businesses.
Ugh.
And so from
Yeah.
a competition perspective, I mean, these things are called non-competes. And so we think, they deserve an enormous amount.
Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy that America, land of supposed competition, managed to make a thing called non-competition clauses legal. That's insane. It's like, yes, and this is my monopoly maker. Can I please? Are you gonna make my monopoly maker illegal? That's un-American. Well, actually, that is un-American. I mean, it was built off the backs of robber barons. The freest of markets. We love it.
Scrutiny, and that the economy on the whole would probably be healthier without them.
We're over time, but let me get a microphone to Megan because I know he did have a question.
Uh-oh.
Megan Del Rahim, who I should say used to run the antitrust division at the Department of Justice, actually sat on the stage several years ago.
Oh.
I think actually talking about that deal, by the
wonder
way,
if he's
that you
pro.
can comment on. You guys were actually in sync on that, oddly enough.
Oh.
That particular, I think when David bought Time Warner, it was without DirecTV, which really caused me competitive concern. So I supported Lina's comments with respect to the appeal. We appealed and lost again. Lina, congratulations on your accomplishments and your tenure.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to ask you a question about more government institutional design. And, in practice, I get asked by boards about a particular merger, and how do you predict this? And a lot of times it depends which agency gets to see it. They have different legal standards, different procedures, which is difficult to make a decision.
Okay, this guy's nice, but that's boring. Okay. Wiz, can we look at a little bit of the FTC Commission Committee, please?
Is it good or is it shit?
I just want to look at the Republican tearing her up.
Okay, I didn't go pee, but I'll come back.
If sometime-
and watch.
I'll start without you.
You go. You start. You get warmed up, baby.
Is this the one? Is this the one? That's why during oversight. Was this the one where the Republican is insanely retarded? Oh yeah, this is the guy. You can tell this is the guy. You can tell this is the guy. Look at that face. Arr! Arr! He's got like 3 bottom teeth. He's gonna use all of them to attack democracy. All right, Bug, finish playing the intro. What intro? No.
Challenges facing antitrust today were, quote, the result of a choice made 40 years ago to follow the misguided philosophy of people like Robert Bork. In other words, according to Chair Khan, the prevailing view over the last 40 years, a bipartisan view, shared over more than 20 Congresses, 6 presidential administrations, and adopted and developed by all 50 states in their enforcement, is now somehow wrong.
I mean, well, to be fair, this is Republican coded, like, fucking 101. Like, are you telling me that the prevailing view of the last 50 years has been incorrect? I've had a slave since I was a child. My father had a slave. And now it's time to suddenly give up all of our slaves at once. It doesn't make any no damn near sense. It's absolutely ridiculous. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm gonna scream epithets at you for the next 20 minutes because you're brown. All right.
Over those 40 years, the U.S. economy grew from about a $3 trillion annual economy to $25 trillion, and was the single greatest period of wealth creation.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Everyone who oversaw economic policy.
The single greatest period of wealth creation. Yeah, for the wealthy. Yeah. Yes. Correct. True. Fuck this guy.
Technically true.
Was wrong.
Yeah.
She knows better. She's trying to usher in radical.
We've had club for 1,000 years. Why need stone axe? Oh fuck.
Departure from the norms that made the American economy great to a system where her and her cronies have unchecked power over business.
Her and her cronies.
Untethered from any reasonable reading of precedent or statutory.
God, she's so fucking stoic. She has the face of like a. Oh my god, she's so cool. She's so fucking cool. Look at that. She's chiseled from stone.
Law. So we should ask now, over the 2 years into her tenure, how has her approach to antitrust been playing out as she heads one of those critical agencies in our government?
Fuck yeah.
The short answer is that it's been a disaster. She's used investigations to burden parties with vague and costly demands without any substantive follow-through or, frankly, logic for the requests themselves. She centralized the decision-making at the commission within her office, eliminated any pretext of due process or transparency in that decision-making.
Based.
Her approach is best characterized as one of intimidation followed by inaction. The best example of this, which was only brought to light because of our work on the Weaponization Select Committee, was her targeted harassment of Twitter. After Mr. Musk bought the company and following pressure from Democrat senators, left-wing activist groups,
oh my god, she's so
the FTC
cool.
issued over 350 requests for
everything he says makes her sound cooler. So this is how you know. This is how you know. This is when like the right wing will try and attack Bernie. This is why the right wing completely stopped talking about Bernie Sanders, because every time they talked about him, they just made him sound cool. They made him sound cool as fuck. Oh god.
Information from Twitter. These requests included asking for every communication about Mr. Musk inside the company, and most troubling, for information about.
That's normal! What do you mean? Give us information about your communications with the CEO of your company to understand whether that guy was overreaching and abusing his ownership of the platform to platform his own fucking messages? Really? That's super normal transparency! This motherfucking dumbass, shitty ass fucking bitch just said, oh, you've centralized all of your communications into your own office. How are we supposed to know that your organization is transparent? And then this retard is like, how dare you demand transparency from a mega corporation? Fuck you, dude! Oh my god! Holy shit! Fuck, man. It's literally like the other corporations deserve so many more rights than God. Oh my fucking god. I'm gonna scream. Holy shit. Yes, Jim Jordan, known retard Jim Jordan is attacking her, yes.
Twitter's work with journalists.
To be fair, that request... It's up. It's just that he's old.
Working to shed light on the government-driven censorship practices that existed at, and I think in some cases still exist at big tech. In fact, we got a great court decision last week who talked about this, how pervasive this effort was. A preliminary injunction from that federal court in the Western District of Louisiana. Just this morning, though, in a filing in federal court, we have learned that the situation is actually even worse than we could have imagined.
To be fair, that request sounds broad. No. For a company, for the issues that Twitter was going through, I think requesting all communications with the CEO is perfectly valid. Legally, the subpoena has to be narrow, not a moral one, if you get me. I get that. I think there was a good legal justification for requiring those communications, because the point of that was to make sure that Elon Musk had actually requested things like increasing his platform size, like, meddling with shit to platform his own ideas, or to get access to communications internally that demonstrated that he had lied about certain aspects of his decision making when it came to Twitter.
This wasn't harassment. it was a shakedown. The FTC, as is common practice pursuant to the consent order, required Twitter to hire an independent assessor. An independent assessor whose legal obligation is to be truly independent and objective, not for one party or another. Well, it turns out objectivity was not what the Federal Trade Commission was interested in here.
Whoa.
What?
Here's what the filing said about Ernst & Young, the independent assessor hired in this matter. Quote, the FTC was so adamant with Ernst & Young conveying that this is absolutely what you will do, and this is going to occur, and you'll produce a report at the end of the day that would be negative about Twitter, that senior Ernst & Young leaders feared that if Ernst & Young resigned as the independent assessor, the FTC would take exception to their withdrawal and create other challenges for Ernst.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. Fuck you, idiots. Sorry. So the testimony here is that the lawyers were like, well, if we were to back down, then maybe they'll be mean to us in the future. That's it. That's your evidence. Fear of retaliation. They don't have the fucking staff to retaliate. They've got a fucking 1,000 lawyers. That's it. How is Ernst & Young going to get fucked by the FTC? What are you doing that is going to get your company fucked by the FTC? Insane. Insane. Insane.
Ernst & Young over time. This is not conjecture from Twitter. This is from sworn testimony of the independent assessor.
Yeah, I swear that I'm scared is retarded testimony. Fuck you.
In the deposition itself, taken just last month.
Oh my god.
This is outrageous. This is unacceptable. It's the kind of behavior that occurs in banana republics, not in the...
Oh my god!
Chair Khan has no interest in providing information to the people's representatives in the Congress, to the people on this committee when we ask for it.
This is every
dead
dead
The FTC has
meme.
not fully complied with a single request for documents from this committee. And because of her mismanagement, not even her own staff is impressed with Chairman Khan's leadership.
Oh, here we go.
2020, the last year under the Trump administration, 87% of FTC employees agreed that senior leaders maintain high standards. Under Chair Khan, that figure fell to 53% in 2021, has declined even further to 49% in 2022.
Okay, so yeah, so half the FTC is pissed off with Lina Khan, basically.
In 2020, 83%.
Which is normal when you turn she's materially changed everything about the institution from the last 50 years. Everyone who's been hired at the FTC to date, everyone who is currently alive at the FTC has been hired under the conditions that Lina Khan is trying to fix. So of course they don't like her. She's trying to shake up the fucking system completely. Oh my god.
Makes sense.
I can tell he's angry because I finally hear what he says.
2% of surveyed FTC employees agree that they have a high level of respect for the FTC senior leaders. Again, under the chairman, that figure plummeted to 49%. And these numbers were before it was revealed recently that the chair was advised by FTC's ethics council to recuse herself from a major case. She did not recuse herself and then appears to have misled.
Okay, so this is meaningless because that internal ethics council, we have no idea like what factionalism is going on there. Like, she was told to recuse herself from the case. I wouldn't recuse myself from a case if I had a... She's got here's the real criticism, okay? She has an ideological motivation that is incompatible with big business, Republicans, and most Democrats. So when an ethics committee is like, hey, you've got an ideological bent against big business, you should recuse yourself. If I was in her position, I'd say, fuck you! Of course I do! Big business is destroying this country, and I'm head of the FTC to shake shit up! That's what Daddy Biden wanted.
I'm just doing my job, man.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, man.
Led Congress about taking that advice. We have a lot of questions today.
Shall we?
I've gotten too mad? Okay, fine. You don't see any of her
Shall
response?
We pivot?
Fine. Fine, we'll pivot.
One's in chat if you wanna keep watching this. Two's in chat if we move on to drama. Oh my god. Drama.
If we okay. If you got Pivot time. Do we pivot? Do we pivot?
You're watching the pod show, it's called the Pond Scum Podcast. It's on every Monday at 7 p.m. GMT. You're watching it. It's good sometimes. Sometimes it's not so good, or it's pretty most of the time. But most of the time it's pretty good. And we think you should like and subscribe and donate and hype us. It's democratic. It's democratic.